Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to the August 14th, 2025 meeting of the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners. If everyone would stand with us, please. Our Commission Chaplain, Commissioner Romel McMurray, will lead us in our prayer and our pledge. Commissioner
Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for your grace and your mercy and for giving it to us every single day. We stand before you to give you all the glory, the honor, and the praise. When we think about all the things that you've done for us, what you're currently doing, and what you're about to do, we can't help but to give you all the glory and the praise and to say thank you. Dear Lord, as leaders, let us be reminded that leadership is not about ourselves, but it's about helping others. May we continue to work in our communities to make it a welcoming and prosperous place for all. May we continue to do what you say on a daily basis so that others will see you through us. I pray for the weak and I pray for the needy. Let us continue to pray for others because it simply shows that we have love for one another. For we know that the Bible tells us that when we use our life to help others, we end up even more blessed. We are a blessed people, and we are a blessed nation. Even during challenging times, let us hold on to the hope through resilience and optimism. So let us go out and bless others within our neighborhoods, at work, or at school. We may not have everything that we want, but we sure do have everything that we need. I pray that we remain humble in all that we have and all that we do, because what God gives, He can also take. So tonight, let us continue to move Rutherford County forward in a positive manner that includes a vision of unity, compassion, and peace for all people. May God keep His hands on us all, our military, our educators, our first responders, and the fine citizens of Rutherford County. It's in your name that we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Three white stars on a field of blue, God keep me strong and ever true. It is pride and love that salute the flag of Tennessee.
Thank you. You may be seated. This time I'll call on our Rutherford County Clerk, Lisa Crowell, to call the roll. Lisa, please.
Commissioner Oliver.
Present.
Commissioner Piercy.
Here.
Commissioner Peay.
Here.
Commissioner Davison.
Here.
Commissioner Beverly.
Here.
Commissioner Cush.
Present.
Commissioner Reed.
Here.
Commissioner James.
Here.
Commissioner Wilson.
Here.
Commissioner Anthony Johnson.
Present.
Commissioner Boyd.
Here.
Commissioner Paul Johnson. Here. Commissioner Irvin.
Here.
Commissioner Harris. Here. Commissioner Dodd.
Here.
Chairman Phillips.
Present.
Commissioner McAdoo. Here. Commissioner McMurray. Here. Commissioner Gooch.
Here.
Commissioner Sereno.
Yeah.
We have a quorum, 20 present.
Thank you, Lisa. Take just a minute to kind of introduce some new faces. Of course, you know Amy's been here for a good while, and Jack has been here the last couple of months. This is Jack Patterson. He's taken Rick Spence's place. Rick is now officially retired, and he's at home, so everybody kind of wave to Rick and wish him a happy, happy, happy retirement. Congratulations, Rick. This time I'll call on our Chairman Pro Tem Trey Gooch for the reading and the approval of our July meeting minutes.
Well, speaking of Jack, he did a wonderful job with our minutes. I have found everything in there appropriate and good to go. So my motion is to dispense with the reading of the minutes and approve them as presented.
I have a motion and a second to approve our July minutes. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposition? Motion to approve carries. Thank you. This time we have a resolution of sympathy for Clarence Brandon, and I'll call on Commissioner Robert Peay to make that resolution.
Our community has lost three outstanding individuals in this last month or so, and Clarence Brandon is definitely one of them. Tell you a little bit about Clarence. He worked on the Conservation Board for many years with Ben Cates, and there's very few people in this county that have done more for the children of this county than Clarence Brandon. Clarence, and I'll say this about all three of these people, he was loved by his community, he loved his community, and we loved him back. He was a gardener. He was a brother to former Judge Larry Brandon. He was a teacher. He was a friend. He's a mentor to many, many children, and one of the best examples you could have for our children. Resolution of sympathy for Clarence Brandon. Whereas it is with great sadness that the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners learned of the death of Clarence Brandon, and whereas Clarence professed hope in Christ in his youth and joined Hickory Grove Baptist Church, where he remained a deacon until his death. He was a graduate of Holloway High School. After graduating, he attended Tennessee State University with a bachelor's degree and later a master's degree. And whereas Clarence returned to Kittrell Elementary, where he taught for many years, his genuine love for education made him a great teacher. He received many awards and was named Teacher of the Year twice. He was active in his community for many years with the summer recreation programs, basketball camps at Kittrell Elementary. He was also on the Conservation Board for many years. His kindness and loving ways leave behind a great legacy. And whereas he leaves to cherish his memory, his loving wife of 51 years, Marguerite Brandon, 2 children, Adrian Brandon and Pamela Denise Watson, 2 grandchildren, Elijah Watson and Jeremiah Watson. Whereas we know that his passing has caused great sadness to his family and friends, therefore be it resolved that the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners at its regular session on this 14th day of August 2025 does hereby extend sincere sympathy to the family of Mr. Clarence Brandon, and be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution of sympathy be forwarded to the family of Mr. Clarence Brandon by the clerk of this legislative body. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Next, we have a resolution of sympathy for Patricia Peay. Call on Commissioner Alan McAdoo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. With Commissioner Peay, and I think I see a couple more family members, would they come forward? First of all, it was an honor that you asked me to read this resolution. Patricia never gave up what she gave out. At her celebration of life, it was one passage that stuck with me about her. Faith as small as a mustard seed can move mountains, Matthew 17:20. And that really do describe her. Patricia was a person that believed if I could help somebody as I travel on, then my living would not be in vain. And she helped the many throughout this county. Family, we know you're going to cry, but let it be tears of joy, remembering that good times, remembering the good times. And I'll say it again, remembering the good times that you had when she was here with us. Resolution. Whereas it was with great sadness that the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners learned of the death of Patricia Ann Gripple Peay, the First Lady of District 4 and wife of District 4 Commissioner Robert Peay. And whereas Pat taught middle school at Central Middle and Siegel, After 35 years, she retired from Rutherford County Schools in 2016. During that time, she took great pride in helping cultivate culinary, arts, safety, health, career, and sewing skills in her students. She was known for being both very strict and wildly enthusiastic because in middle school, she believed if you can't beat them, join them. Whereas often seen behind the lens of a camera, Pat helped many commemorate their special days over the years, taking pictures for weddings, showers, yearbooks, and graduations. Pat was also a talented seamstress that tailored everything from dream nurseries for expectant mothers, embroidered gifts, and matching dresses for her daughters. She proudly served as a volunteer, and this I'm gonna say it again, she proudly served as a volunteer firefighter for Kitra, passing the required state certification courses along with the rest of the crew. She could play piano and organ beautifully and grew up playing for her church. She had a love for animals, especially cats. She never allowed any animals or person to go hungry. And whereas Patty is survived by her devoted husband of 44 years, Robert, 2 daughters, Rachel, Kyle, and Katie, Manny, Santana, 5 cherished grandchildren, Camille, Roscoe, Isaac, Charlie, and Luca. She is also survived by her Gripple family, including her sister Elaine, sister-in-law Elaine, nieces Andrew, Good, Tom, Sarah, Jack, Emily, Tiger, and nephews Tom and TJ. There are many Peas in her pod too. Many. Surviving Peay families members include Billie Jean, Greg, Joey, and Charlotte Peay, who are all brothers and sisters-in-law. And Robert Daddy never did have no in-laws. They were all his children. And if you run into a conversation with him, he was going to tell you about all his children, not sister-in-laws or daughter-in-laws or whatever, but he always included them as his children. Her nieces and nephews on the Peay side included Kimberly, Amy, Josh, Adam, Marilyn, Natalie, Zachary, Carolyn, Hayden, Destiny, Alex, Rebecca, Walker, Norman, and Millie, Casper, Tanya, and Sam. Did I leave out any?
There's several we left out, but they're not on that list.
Whereas we know that her passing caused great sadness to her family and friends that she impacted over the years. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners, at its regular session on the 14th day of August, 2025, does hereby extend sincere sympathy to the family of Patricia Ann Peay, and be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution of sympathy be forwarded to the family of Patricia Ann Peay by the clerk of this legislative body. And I so move.
We have a motion
Second.
and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
See if I can get through this. I want to say thank you to some special people. A lot of them work for the county. Start with Brian Gaither with the ambulance service. The kindness that we've been shown over the last year especially has been outstanding. Ed Elam in the Risk Management Department. Ascension St. Thomas. The hospitals both in Woodbury and Rutherford County. Gordon Ferguson, former director there, and his staff. and all the doctors and nurses there. Can't tell you how much we appreciated them. Also, the Woodbury Health and Rehab Center. Many former students, co-workers, and friends. But mainly I want to point out the American Red Cross. Pat was transfusion dependent for many years, and you always hear, well, you save a life. Well, this is one life that was saved where she got to spend Christmases and time with her grandkids. But thank you.
Thank you.
Item G, public comments. We've had 8 individuals sign up for public comments. First on the list is Lynette Snyder. Her topic is explosives and Dale Webb. Ms. Snyder. Ms. Snyder, there's a timer. You have 3 minutes.
You know, for a retired Rutherford County teacher, it's hard to only finish something in 3 minutes.
I'm sorry?
I live out at Rockville, Tennessee, and there are explosions almost daily hitting my house and the neighborhoods. One of my neighbors said there's horrifying things that are happening in people's houses. I know that because a little bit of it has happened in my house. So I'm asking for some concern or knowledge as to how long this will continue, because I can't afford as a retired teacher to start all over again because my house is being damaged. I had a contractor come out and look at my house, and he wrote up the major thing that we're worried about right now, and we know that Del Webb is not finished doing their work. So he wants to come back and review a couple things. One is a wall, and the other one is brand new windows that are leaking just on the one side, close to Del Webb. And I'm supposed to pass out these papers. Who gets it?
Just
Yes. That is the statement from the contractor that came out and looked at the house. I was very impressed with him. He works for R3 on Warrior Street and looked the house over real good. Now, I took some pictures, but I just took them with a camera. I should have had some type of movie to show you, because I know that you wouldn't have wanted that to happen to your house. Those are pictures. The pictures, thank you. The pictures are numbered on the back. Whoever's going to get them, the pictures have been numbered, and I will try to go along and keep in order. Bless Jack, he's helped me before with things, and I really appreciate you. You're one of my favorite people in the whole town.
Yes, thank you.
Well, time is a-flying. Okay, we'll start, whoever has the pictures. Number 1 is in the kitchen on one side of the stove. I have
time is up.
Okay. But you may look at them, and you'll probably be able to tell how things are cracked and damaged and ruined, and it all has to be pulled out. The wall and everything, because I have laminate going up my walls and from the countertops, a damaged window, lots of things, wall, and it's all happened since all the explosions. One more thing, one of the explosions, sir, was so bad that when I was standing in the kitchen at the counter the morning that happened, it pushed my body in and pulled my body out. I thought one of those airplanes that had been crashing had landed in the forest next to me. And I thank you for your time. I wish I had more time. I should still be teaching. Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Next is Robert Cronfield. He will be speaking on the same topic, blasting and explosives.
Yes, my wife and I also live in Rockvale, and we had, and she's going to go through, she's got some pictures and some things there about how much we did to remodel the house about 3 years ago, and then had to redo 2 downstairs bathrooms less than a year ago because the blasting had torn up the tiles on the floor of our 2 downstairs bathrooms. But they go through these pauses, and we were kind of hoping that the pause was a permanent pause when we redid the bathrooms in September of last year. But they started blasting again. And there was one that was particularly harsh. It was harsh enough that it opened up our kitchen cabinet doors, opened up our refrigerator door. My wife used to live in California. She said it felt like an earthquake had hit. We went over to Del Webb, and I like to call it Southern Disharmony instead of Southern Harmony, but we went over to Del Webb that afternoon. They blast late in the evening, and the people were getting ready to go home. They were locking up the real estate office, and the people who do the building were getting in their cars and heading out. But my wife was pretty persistent. She pounded on the door to the real estate office, and we were able to give them my phone number so that the guy who's in charge of the contracting could give us a call. He did give us a call the very next day, and we explained to him, my wife and I were on the phone call, I just had on voice, explained to him the damage that he was doing to our house from the blasting. And his response was, it's not our problem, we have permits. So the permits give them permission to damage my house. We had over $5,000 of repair to something we had just spent $100,000 on to get a complete remodel. But he has the right to damage my house because he has permits to do it. Second thing he said is they have to do blasting because they're getting through limestone. And I studied some geology when I was in college. Limestone comes from sand, which gets compressed over time. That develops sandstone. Sandstone gets compressed over time, develops limestone. It's still considered a soft stone. There's no reason for them to be blasting on a soft stone when they can be using jackhammers. They have industrial-sized jackhammers that'll do just as good a job without causing the damage to our house and our neighbors' houses. Hopefully my wife will be up next because she's got the pictures of the damage and the money that we spent to get it fixed and the time that we had the house remodeled. Thank you. I'm done.
Thank you. Next is Tina Cronfield. Same topic.
We've got a lot of packages for everybody. My name is Tina Cranfield. Again, I live in Rockvale. I know it doesn't sound close, but we're actually very close to where all this blasting is going on. The package that I'm giving you, once you get it, honey, did you pass these out? Now you really know we're married, right? Once you look at it, if you can look at it, you can see the first page. This is our remodeling expenses. If you see the third item there, or the first item, that's the final payment on the remodel that we did on our house. You can see that's 8/23/2022, and the check was made out to Wells Custom Homes. We did a master bathroom remodel, a powder room remodel. They also took the vinyl siding off the side of our house, put hardy plank on, so on and so forth. So that was a total for the contractor. You can see he was paying on 8/23. If you look at the package and look at the very last page, those are the bathrooms that we had remodeled, finished. Okay, so you see a master bath and a powder bathroom. Those are two different bathrooms, by the way. I know they look kind of similar, but they're the same. Then if you start looking through the pictures, you can see on the first page, do you see the grout coming out of the tile, cracking on all of those images? And on the second page, you see those little pieces of grout? That was just popping up out of the tile. But we had to have a contractor come, and you can see it on that same second page. They had to remove all of those tiles that were popping up, and the grout was coming up. This happened. I have a bid from him. He gave me the bid on 9/27/2024, so not 2 years after we completely remodeled these two bathrooms. Now, I got to tell you something. I'm shaking right now. You know why? How would your wives feel or your husband feel if that happened to you? There is no excuse. When it got so bad and started making, again, refrigerator opening up in our kitchen, we did go down and speak to them. That was on the 29th of January. Also, if you see this image, that's in the powder room. So the wax ring, I don't know if you guys know what a wax ring is, that's on the toilet became loose. So what happens when the toilet becomes loose? Everything underneath it rots, so we had to replace all of that tile. I know my 3 minutes is up. I thank you for your time. I hope that you'll look through the pictures and see all the information there. And I really hope that this blasting stops. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Jim Farley. His topic is the District 3 Commission opening.
Good evening. My name is Jim Farley. I live at 5111 General Eisenhower Drive in District 3. And I come tonight to share my opinions and to express a concern, an ethical concern regarding last public steering committee meeting, the last one that occurred. I also would like to address a comment made in that same meeting. It was a meeting regarding people in the community listening and having an open mind towards the landfill. Many people here in the community have learned more about landfills than they ever cared to know. We heard Republic say that you have to make sure the right waste is coming in, but we know aluminum dross and radioactive waste were both dumped there. Despite what we hear, actions speak louder than words. We heard on the same program about Republic's vision of single-stream recycling and the use of optical guided robots to sort out recyclables. But we ask what steps have been taken so far in our almost 30-year history in this county. We have read with trepidation articles about an underground fire at Chiquita Canyon landfill. The fire, which started burning in 2022, encompasses approximately 90 acres of buried waste and is projected to burn for decades. I don't think anyone here can fathom the cataclysmic economic and environmental catastrophe that would occur if Middle Point had an underground fire. We don't think this could happen here. However, we were reminded that Middle Point has already been given a special ETLF designation for the EPA for elevated temperatures due to aluminum dross dumped there. We have also seen the video and reports of previous surface fires on Middle Point. The people here know about the off-the-chart PFAS levels of leachate being processed by the Murfreesboro Recovery Facility. We've read comments from Middle Point contractors about much stronger leachate compared to quote, unquote, normal landfills. Let us not fool ourselves into thinking that Middle Point is a normal landfill. The information abounds that this is not a normal landfill situated so close to our water supply. We have read the City of Murfreesboro's lawsuit regarding alleged illegal discharge into Stones River via way of Matthews Lake. We have seen the data from the EPA UCMR5, which found that PFOA in the City of Murfreesboro's finished drinking water exceeded the EPA maximum containment level. We have read about medical research that explains that PFOA blood levels are dose dependent, meaning that whenever blood serum PFOA levels double, a person's risk of getting renal cell carcinoma increases by 71%. We have heard environmental scientists recommend that people of Murfreesboro purchase costly reverse osmosis water systems. We have seen the multiple recent TDEC violations related to insufficient cover of dirt. We have smelled the effects of the shortfall. Republic seems to have a difficult time getting dirt lately, yet they will somehow solve this problem if the landfill expands. We've read the TDEC major violation for leachate management problems. We have listened, but what we have heard has concerned us more and more.
Thank you. Next is Will Jordan. His topic is also the District 3 Commission opening. Former County Commissioner Will Jordan.
Chairman Phillips, Commissioners, Mayor Carr, I appreciate the opportunity to speak tonight. I've lived in District 3 my entire life. I spent 16 years in that seat you're going to fill here in a few minutes, and I take it very seriously. I don't mean any disrespect to the commissioners that represent a district that lies inside a municipality, but it's a different job than the commissioners that represent the rural areas. The commissioners in those districts are the only voice of their constituents. They don't have a city councilman, they don't have an alderman, they don't have anything. All they've got is that. And so it is a very important decision you're going to be making in a few minutes to fill that seat. There's been some bad decisions made in this courtroom over the years. 38 years ago, a terrible decision was made here and led to Middle Point landfill. I think everybody knows, I know most of you know, I'm very much anti-landfill. I stood here with Commissioner Peay about 8 years ago and fought the fight to stop the expansion of the landfill, and I hope that'll continue to go on. But during my tenure on the commission, I served with Rick Hall, and I have great respect for Mr. Hall. I consider him a friend. I consider him an ally when he was on the commission, and I 100% support him to be the commissioner in my district, my voice for District 3. And so I would ask you to consider that when you're voting here in a few minutes, and give us a good, strong leader that I can have somebody to call, because I don't have a council member or anything. That's all I have is my commissioner. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Will. Next is Wayne Blair. His topic is also District 3 Commission opening. Mr. Blair, former school board member and also former county commissioner. Good to have you back, Wayne.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioners, thank you for allowing me to be here this evening. I served with many of you in this chamber and was honored to do so. I had the opportunity to represent Rutherford County Schools for 3 terms, and that was certainly an honor as well. I guess I need to give you my address, don't you? 528 Veritas Street, presently in Nashville, but I am doing everything I can to get back to my hometown in Smryna. So I apologize for getting off track. You know, I love this county community, and I want the best for it. Michael Rather, friend of mine, I'm sorry he's not going to be serving with you any longer. You're going to miss his counsel. But I feel like that you need someone to take his place that's going to be intelligent, experienced, engaged, and loves this county community. My friend for over the last 2 decades, Rick Hall, fills all those blocks. If you look on his application, you'll see that he's a former commissioner. He's a retired police detective. He's been involved with the boards here at the county. He's been involved with our nonprofits, helping them, and he does a great job. And I think he would be a wonderful selection, and I think you would be comfortable utilizing his intelligence and his forethought. I've only said this about one man publicly in my tenure as a public figure, and I described Mr. Don Odom, the former director of Rutherford County Schools. When I was asked to describe him, I said, he oozes with integrity. I can say that about Rick Hall as well. My grandson is playing coach pitch baseball right now. And before every practice, every game, maybe even during the practices and game, I'll say, son, be baseball ready. Again, be baseball ready. Pay attention to detail. Commissioners, Rick Hall is commissioner ready. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Wayne. Next is Matt Peay, and his topic is board appointments. While Mr. Peay is coming up, I'll say that we're running a little bit late for our public hearings, but wanted to get through these public comments, if that's okay with everyone.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Matt Peay. I live on Winding Branch Drive in Christiana. I really do have a lot I'd want to say about issues near and far, but today I got to keep it really local. I'm here tonight to speak about board appointments, specifically the open seat on our library board. Our community faces real challenges, and every board and commission has a mission to serve the public in meaningful ways. The library board's mission is clear: to improve literacy, expand access to information, and ensure our libraries remain places where everyone feels welcome. And that's a point where I'd like to reiterate what Commissioner McMurray said earlier. We want a community that is welcoming and prosperous for everyone. When personal agendas take over, though, that mission gets derailed, and energy that should go towards strengthening our library system gets wasted on divisive battles over what people can read. That's why I strongly encourage you to appoint Ellen Myrick to the library board tonight. Ellen has decades of experience in the world of books and libraries, has served on numerous boards, and is deeply committed to expanding access to knowledge and improving literacy in Rutherford County. She is exactly the kind of qualified, steady leadership our library system needs to thrive. What we do not need is another board member recommended by the chair who has been clear about wanting policies shaped solely around his own worldview that lead to discrimination and book bans. The applicant in question even stated in his application his intent to support such restrictions. We've already seen where this mindset leads. It brought a costly lawsuit against our schools, and it would likely lead to another against Rutherford County. Lawsuits take resources away from real needs and damage our reputation as a welcoming community. Do we really want to make headlines again for discrimination and censorship? Aren't we tired of that? We all say we should listen to each other and work together. I agree. Which is why I hope you'll follow Steering Committee Chairman Craig Harris's lead and vote for Ellen Myrick. That would put the focus back on the library's true mission: improving literacy, fostering curiosity, and ensuring every person in Rutherford County has the freedom to explore new ideas. In regards to any board in particular, let's choose the most qualified candidates with the strongest record of service, so our library board can do what it does best: serve our community, protect our freedoms, and keep the doors of knowledge open to everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's time for our public hearings. This time I'll call on our Planning Director, Doug DeMasi, to lead us through this process. Mr. DeMasi.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good evening, Commission members. Hope everybody's doing well tonight. We have 3 rezoning applications for your consideration tonight. The first is located at 3612 Woodbury Pike. The existing zoning is residential medium density, and they are asking for commercial services zoning. County zoning enforcement officials received a complaint on this property back in August of 2024. Upon inspection, it was determined that the subject property was being used for an automotive repair business. Staff met with the owner shortly after that, and explained potential options, which range from either removing all business activity to rezoning the property, which led to the application you have before you today. The applicant has submitted a letter and a concept plan, which is included with your agenda packets on your iPads. This is not a planned development. I do want to stress that. So the concept plan is not binding, but it does give you an idea of the direction they would like to go. You see the property does have frontage along Woodbury Pike. It's kind of what I would call a flag lot, pretty long driveway that opens up in the back. You'll see the maps on your iPads. Of course, an engineered site plan would be required prior to development of this site. Should this application be approved, this would have to demonstrate compliance with all of our parking and access requirements. Depending on the scope of the proposed improvements, we could require a traffic study, but that is something that we would anticipate looking at whenever we saw a site plan. Site plan would also show conformance with our landscape criteria as well as our performance standards. After the staff's presentation at the Planning Commission, some of the commissioners had questions about how long the auto repair activity had been occurring. It was about 2 years before it came to light. Applicant stated they did want to make they did make the tenant cease the activity after they received the complaint. He further stated he wanted to get the activity approved and go about things the right way. There were some other questions about the site plan process should this application be approved, which I explained a little earlier how that process would work. This site is adjacent to other property that is zoned for similar purposes in the past and zoned commercial services, same for what he's asking. There's also commercially zoned property in the area as well. I will say the applicant stopped by the office the other day and showed me some pictures of the site and has pretty much cleaned up the entire site, so he has me good on his word to stop the activity going on the property. After this discussion, the Planning Commission did recommend approval by a vote of 6-4 and 4 against. So I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Questions for Mr. DeMasi at this time? Seeing none, I'll declare the public hearing open for item REZ 25-015, rezoning request for Yasan Dakak, located at 3612 Woodbury Pike. Existing zoning is residential medium density. Proposed zoning is for commercial service. The size of the site is approximately 7.5 acres. Anyone wishing to speak for or against this rezoning request, please come forward. Seeing no one, I'll declare the public hearing closed. Commissioner Peay.
Mr. Chairman, I have received 0 calls on this property. It's been operating as a business, and the gentleman has taken the steps to bring it into compliance. So I'm going to make a motion for approval with all of the staff recommendations.
We have a motion to approve and a second. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor of approval, please say aye. Aye. Any opposition? Motion to approve carries. Thank you.
Our second public hearing tonight is by Jeff Moody for M2 Development LLC. This is property located at the intersection of Sledge Road and Miller Road. Again, the existing zoning is residential medium density. They are asking for a planned unit development for contractor storage and a mulching business on about 43 acres. The applicant does intend to rezone this property to, again, as I stated, allow for contractor storage of equipment and materials for a mulching business and provide a trailer storage area. This development is broken down into 2 phases, and I will call your attention to the pattern book, which is on your iPads. Phase 1 is along Sledge Road, which will consist of a gravel storage area for mulch, equipment, and trucks. Phase 2, which is accessed along Miller Road, will consist of a portable office and parking area along with storage area for tractor trailers, boats, and RVs. You'll see a conceptual layout in the pattern book as well as allowable uses. It's not exclusive to the proposed use, but it is pretty limited compared to some other pattern books we've reviewed in a not so distant past. There was a neighborhood meeting held on this property back in May of this year. There were a handful of people in attendance. Applicant discussed the proposed project and answered some questions about timing, appearance of the property, and other questions. I would also just, again, refer your attention to the pattern book for additional information. You'll see in the pattern book, and I'll just discuss just a few of the items here that are in there, the proposed access points and the parking areas. Again, phase 1 is proposed for a gravel lot for storage of mulch equipment and trucks. Phase 2, again, being the office parking gravel storage area. We did express some concerns about the arrangement, but they have changed that surfacing actually in the parking and storage of vehicles to more of a tar and chip type surface. So an engineered site plan will have to be submitted prior to the development of the site with any non-commercial development, or I'm sorry, non-residential development that we see. Non-residential plan developments do not require open space set-asides. However, you'll see that they are proposing a 50-foot wide vegetative screen along Sledge Road and a smaller one along the eastern property line along Miller Road. Buffer zones are also shown for the miscellaneous tributaries on the property, which is consistent with our regulations. An engineered site plan, again, would have to show conformance to our landscaping and also our performance standards. Planning Commission asked about the activity on the site, specifically if there were any mulching activities. It was answered that they would only be storing it, they would not be producing it. The applicant's representative also stated it would only be, again, for the storage. There were concerns about traffic, considering the Plainview Elementary School not being too far away from this site. Traffic should be minimal, according to the applicant, only a few tractor trailers per week and employee traffic coming in and out. Further questions concern the wetlands on the property and the screening along Sledge Road. There would be, as I stated earlier, a 50-foot screen along Sledge, and the wetlands would be protected. Following this discussion and the public hearing, the Planning Commission did recommend approval by a unanimous vote, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Questions for Mr. DeMasi? Seeing none, I'll declare the public hearing open for rezoning request REZ 25-013 Jeff Moody for M2 development located at the intersection of Sledge Road and Miller Road. Existing zoning is residential medium density. Proposed zoning is for planned unit development for contractor storage of a mulching business, and the size of the site is approximately 43 acres. Anyone wishing to speak for or against this rezoning request, please come forward. Seeing no one, I'll declare the public hearing closed. Commissioner Jonathan Beverly.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Like Commissioner Peay, I have not gotten any phone calls, so I will make a motion to approve with staff comments.
I have a motion and a second to approve item REZ 25-013. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposition? Motion to approve carries. Thank you. Mr. DeMasi.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, thank you. Our final public hearing tonight is by Cole Wilson. This is for SL7 Space Park LP, located along Sulphur Springs Road. It's an existing planned unit development. They are asking for an amendment to that planned unit development. Just as a way of a little bit of background and history, these properties were originally rezoned to planned development by the Board of Commissioners back in August of 2022. The approved building configuration, which you find in the pattern book, also on your iPads, shows that it was two buildings. One was going to be approximately 1.1 million square feet, and the other was a little bit over 373,000 square feet. However, the total square footage of both buildings was not to exceed 1.5 million. Following the zoning approval, the Planning Commission did approve site plans for both of these buildings back in November of 2022. However, construction never did start on either building. Since the time of those approvals, staff has had several conversations with the owner of the property regarding the proposed building layout. The owner asked if they could have more than two buildings while staying within the 1.5 million square foot limit. After we reviewed the pattern book, we explained to them that it was very specific about two buildings, and if they wanted to make any changes to the number or the layout of the buildings, they would have to come back through the public hearing process for a PUD amendment, which is what you have before you tonight. So this process is identical to the original plan development process. There was a neighborhood meeting held back in May of this year. Many of the concerns that were expressed at that rezoning or during that neighborhood meeting were the same expressed during the rezoning process back in 2022. However, the applicant did explain that they were just asking for some changes to what had been approved, not anything beyond really what had been approved. You'll see in the pattern book for this application, again, a total of 4 buildings on the site. They range anywhere from about 276,000 up to 550,000 square feet. Building sizes and footprints may vary, but the maximum area of all buildings will not be greater than 1.5 million square feet, which is the same as their original plan development. If you look on the pattern book, I believe it's on page 3, you'll see a chart kind of going over the different bulk requirements and size. You'll see what's changing and what's not. Really, again, when it boils down to it, it's the number of buildings that they're looking at changing. Everything else in this is pretty much unchanged. I will talk about traffic and parking just for a little bit. This project is going to access Sulphur Springs Road. You'll see that there still is no access on the Shacklet, which is how it was originally approved. You'll see that there is a 60-foot wide drive that will terminate in a cul-de-sac, which again, that has not changed either. There are, again, no access points either to Walnut Lane or Shacklet Road. Commissioners may recall that there were a number of road improvements that were recommended as part of the original approval. Those improvements are still in play with this application, as well as some additional ones. I believe there's 3 additional improvements to the ramps, especially around I-840 and Sulphur Springs Road. The pattern book does go into some additional detail on that. I can be happy to clarify, but I just wanted to make sure everybody understood that the original improvements that were a part of the approval back in 2022 remain intact, as well as the original approvals, and the additional improvements, and that does include the traffic signal at the 3-way intersection at Leanna Road and Sulphur Springs. So I just want to make sure everybody was aware of that. You'll see the pattern book also shows a 50-foot wide preservation easement. Again, that is unchanged. Some of the buildings are closer to the property lines than they were, but they do not go into the preservation easement. I'll talk about that here in just a moment. I will say the Planning Commission had a lot of questions about the proposed traffic improvements. They wanted to make sure, again, that those improvements that were originally proposed were still part of the amendment, which they are. And we also discussed the additional improvements. There was also some questions about screening and hours of operation. The applicant's representative stated nothing had changed from their original application in that regard. During the public hearing, there were concerns brought up by some of the neighbors in the area regarding locations of the buildings, as I stated, being a little bit closer to neighboring properties than originally proposed. Lighting, blasting, and drainage concerns were also expressed. Following the public hearing, there was additional discussion on fire protection, geotechnical reports that will be required during the site plan process, and also blasting procedures. The Planning Commission did ask the applicant to provide some more screening along the southwest boundary to help reduce lighting pollution onto the adjacent property. You'll see that on the later pages where you see some landscape berm, not for lack of a better word, berms, and some areas to help where the drive aisles are so that the headlights aren't spilling over into the adjacent property. Commissioner Dodd, I believe you had some concerns also about that southwest corner being a little sparse in regard to landscaping. I did speak with the applicant's design team, and they said they'd be happy to beef that up a little bit more. So with that, after that discussion, the Planning Commission did recommend approval by a unanimous vote, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Questions for Mr. DeMasi? Seeing none.
Mr.
Commissioner James.
I just, for clarification, because when I zoom in, I don't see the distance. What is the distance between the road junction where it's connecting to Hickory Lane from the ramp, merging lanes on the 840?
I don't have that right in front of me. I can't give you an exact distance. I mean, that hasn't changed any, but obviously there's improvements that are identified at that intersection right in there as far as turn lanes into the property, as well as I think one of the improvements concern having a lane coming out as well, right turn. One of the concerns that they had during the original meeting had to do with truck traffic turning left on the Sulphur Springs, leaving the site. So the site access was designed in a way to discourage larger trucks from turning to the west as much as possible. But as far as an exact distance, I don't have that number right in front of me.
Thank you.
Other questions? Seeing none, I'll declare the public hearing open for rezoning request REZ 25-016 Cole Wilson for SL7 Space Park LP located along Sulphur Springs Road. The existing zoning is planned unit development. Proposed zoning is for a planned unit development amendment, changing the number of buildings. The size of the site is approximately 157 acres. Anyone wishing to speak for or against this rezoning request, please come forward. Seeing no one, I'll declare the public hearing closed. In the absence of a seated commissioner in District 3, I'll call on Planning Commissioner and County Commissioner Mike Cush.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm going to make a motion to approve this project. As Doug mentioned, this is a far better concept than the original design that we approved a year and a half, 2 years ago, with increased improvements on the roadway, ingress and egress, right. We've added additional berms and buffers for the neighbors for the considerations and concerns they had, and the applicant has been willing on every ask to take care of that. So I'm going to make a motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve.
Second.
And a second. Any questions or comments? All those in favor of approving rezoning request REZ 25-016, please say aye. Aye. Any opposition? Motion to approve carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Damasi?
No, sir.
Thank you. We'll get back to our regular agenda. We're down to item H, elections and confirmations. At this time, I'll call on our steering vice chair, Commissioner Patricia Reed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Elections and confirmations. Item 1 deals with the election of notaries. Listing of notaries may be found on your iPad. Mr. Chairman, I move to confirm the election of these individuals as Rutherford County notaries.
I have a motion and a second to approve the list of notaries. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion to approve carries. Thank you.
Item 2, steering would like to announce one vacancy on Codes Enforcement Adjustment and Appeals Board. This will be a 3-year term beginning September 2025 through September 2028. Item 3, steering would like to confirm the reappointment of Kathy DeLon as Juvenile Commission. This is a 4-year term. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the reappointment of Kathy DeLon. Any questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion to approve carries. Thank you.
Item 4, steering wishes to confirm Louise Miller on the Juvenile Detention Board of Commissioners. This is a 2-year term. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Second.
A motion and a second. Commissioner Oliver.
Yes, I'd like to nominate Pat Smith for Juvenile Detention Board. She was one of the applicants. As a matter of fact, she was one of the last 2 applicants. She has experience with the state corrections and with CASA. So I listened to all of the applicants, and she had experience, and I think we should consider her. She is here if you all want to hear from her.
Thank you. We have Lois Miller nominated by the steering committee, and Commissioner Oliver nominated. Could you mention her name again, please, for me?
Miss Patricia Smith.
Patricia Smith. Okay, we're getting some clarification. Thank you for your patience. Would the commission like to hear from the applicants? It's your call. Someone will have to make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to hear from both of these applicants. Is Miss Miller here? Lois, are you here? If you would please come forward. I'd like for you to make a brief statement and then subject yourself to questions by this body.
Good evening. My name's Lois Miller. I live at 218 Churchill Farms Drive in Murfreesboro. And I had applied for this position specifically because I have an interest in the youth of our community. I'm a retiree, so I have extra time to spend on these types of activities. And when I got the recommendation out of steering, I actually went to the juvenile detention meeting, even though I wasn't officially on the committee yet, because I wanted to learn more about it. And I have to tell you, I left there even more excited about this opportunity and the ability to have input and be able to speak with the committee and learning what all they do there for that. And I was so impressed with the group. It's got me even more excited than I was to start with. So that was my reasoning. I wanted to be a member of my community. I'm a mother and I'm a grandmother. So I think I have a pretty good handle on rearing children and trying to help them through difficulties in their lives and having a sympathetic ear. I'm also a business person. My background is in risk management and in insurance, and that's always a pretty good thing to have when you're trying to have a budget. So anyway, I appreciate the opportunity and thank you very much.
Any questions for Ms. Miller? Thank you. Patricia Smith, are you here? Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Patricia Smith. I'm known as Pat Smith, and I live at 211 Savannah Ridge Drive here in Murfreesboro. I am a lifelong member of Rutherford County. I grew up here, one of those strange people that you might see that actually grew up here, and I love our community. I have served as extensively as I can to prepare myself for this commission. I am currently on the board of Middle Tennessee Alumni Association, where I am an alumni and graduated with emphasis in law enforcement. I am anxious to work with our youth here in Murfreesboro. As Commissioner Oliver mentioned, I have worked with the Tennessee Department of Corrections as a counselor for juvenile delinquent girls. And what I did in that position was prepare and counsel the young girls when they were incarcerated. I was able to work with judges, probation officers, foster parents, and parents, and try to get them acclimated into going back into society and to avoid recidivism. That was a major thing that we tried to work on, was to make sure that once they were released back into society, they were not repeat offenders. I am also currently working as a CASA volunteer, and a CASA volunteer is a court-appointed special advocate for neglected and abused children. I went through a 6-week training program to become a CASA volunteer. And again, we work with the juvenile detention judges with reports every quarter of how our children are doing. We're actually assigned a foster child that we work with during this period to try to get them back into their home situation or into a better situation. One of the most proud things that I feel for myself is my very first case was a young man, a baby really, and he was involved in a situation, a home situation that was not very productive. This young man was placed in a foster home. The parents adopted him, and he went from a very bad situation to sitting in the box with President McPhee at football games because his adoptive mother was an assistant athletic director at MTSU. Right now, to this day, I still get pictures of him. Got one today. He's on a cruise with his adopted family. So I'm very proud of that work. It It just does my heart good. And I really feel that I'm prepared to be on this commission because I want to give back to my county and to the youth of this county. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? Thank you, Ms. Smith.
Thank you.
This will require us to vote, so we'll have a roll call, and as we go through the roll call, you'll vote for one, either Miss Miller or Miss Smith. Ready? Call the roll, please, if you would, Lisa.
Commissioner Oliver,
Ms. Smith.
Commissioner Piercy,
Ms. Smith.
Commissioner Peay,
Smith.
Commissioner Davison,
Smith.
Commissioner Beverly,
Miller.
Commissioner Cush,
Miller.
Commissioner Reed,
Miller.
Commissioner James,
Miss Miller.
Commissioner Wilson,
Miller.
Commissioner Anthony Johnson,
Ms. Smith.
Commissioner Boyd,
Miller.
Commissioner Paul Johnson,
Smith.
Commissioner Irvin,
Smith.
Commissioner Harris,
Miller.
Commissioner Dodd,
Miller.
Commissioner McAdoo, Commissioner McMurray,
Smith.
Commissioner Gooch,
Mrs. Smith.
Commissioner Sereno,
Smith.
Chairman Phillips,
Miller?
I have the results.
Please.
Ms. Miller, 9, Ms. Smith, 11.
Ms. Smith will be seated. Congratulations. Moving to item H5. Commissioner Peay.
Item 5, we wish to confirm the reappointment of Bill Jones and Warren Russell on the Industrial Development, Health, and Education Facilities Board. This is a 6-year term from August 2025 to August 2031. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to confirm the reappointment of Mr. Jones and Mr. Russell. Any other nominations? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposition? Motion to approve carries. Thank you.
Item 6, steering would like to confirm Eddie Crosland on the Industrial Development, Health, and Education Facilities Board to fill a retiring member seat. Term ends August 2027. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Second.
We have a motion to confirm Eddie Crosland for the Industrial Development Board. Any other nominations? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposition? Motion to approve carries. Thank you.
Item 7, we wish to confirm Jeff Winchuk on the Linebraw Library Board to fill a retiring member's vacancy. That term ends August 2026. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
We have a motion and a second. Any other nominations?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Oliver.
I'd like to nominate Ms. Ellen Myrick. Ms. Myrick has extensive experience as a librarian locally, state, national, and international. Again, I listened to all the candidates, and I just felt like she was the most experienced and ready for the position.
Thank you. Any other nominations? We'll follow the same process. We've got 2 people who have been nominated for the Linebaugh Library Board. First is Jeff Wanchek. He has been nominated through the steering committee. Are you present? If you would, please come forward. Make any comments you wish.
Good evening, everyone. I'm here as a representative of our community since 2002. I have lived in the Middle Tennessee area, and I have raised my children here, both of which who have graduated with honors at the top of their classes, highly interested and involved with reading. That was because we emphasized literacy and the ability to understand words and what the content of the words mean to them as individuals. What I bring to the board is an understanding of process. I've developed and written processes for companies like Harley-Davidson for their quality assurance, and as such, I intend to assure quality within the board policies and procedures as a person involved with this community, as a primary concern, that the literacy improves in our community, and that there's no doubt that there's a need for that, and that primarily is what I see as the purpose of our libraries and the main motivating factor of what we should be working on as a board. So with that, I don't have a long litany of experience as a librarian or a library person, but I am a highly qualified person with the understanding of how to get from where you are to where you want to be as a business person and as a member of this community who cares deeply for kids currently involved with high school students as a small group leader, showing them the way that they need to go to be strong and good, productive members of our community. That's all I have. Thank you.
Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Is Ms. Myrick here? If you would, please come forward. Thank you. Make any comments you wish.
Thank you. Thank you. I live at 214 Haynes Haven Lane in Murfreesboro, and I have lived and worked in Rutherford County since 1997. 10 years of that was with Ingram, which is one of the largest employers in our county. I was head of library marketing. I'm not a librarian, although I aspire to that someday. I think they're amazing. I'm not a librarian, but I was head of library marketing for 10 years. I've had my own business. I'm a small business owner in Smyrna, and I've done that for 18 years. I also have served on several boards, both locally on the Library Foundation Board here in Rutherford County. I have been on the State Library Advisory Council, the Tennessee Advisory Council for Libraries, and I've also served lots of other ones. I think the most recent one that I have been on was the selection committee for the National Ambassador for Young People's Literature for the Library of Congress. I also am very active in the United States Board of Books for Young People and chaired the International Board on Books for Young People Regional Conference at Vanderbilt in 2022, which is dedicated to literacy projects all over the world, shares that information of what works, and that way we can share the information and get more kids reading and passionate about reading. I worked for the Methodist Publishing House. I served as a consulting editor for the Christian Supplement of AudioFile Magazine, which is the audiobook industry trade journal. I have probably the thing I'm most proud of is for the last 25 years, I've handed out books on Halloween. I've given away thousands and thousands of books to generations of children in our county. And it just does my heart great when they bring their children to pick out books and then ask me about the book they read last year and do I have the sequel? I have no idea. But the thing is that they love reading. And I love the fact that I'm called the book lady in multiple neighborhoods in this county. And I want to go to work. I feel like all the experience I've had to this moment brings me to this moment to use that for this community. And books are my love language. So I love my community, and I would really like to serve in this way. Thank you so much.
Any questions for Ms. Myrick? Thank you. Once again, we'll have a roll call vote, and you'll vote for either Mr. Weincheck or Ms. Myrick.
Mr. Chairman, before we vote, I have a question, and I'm not sure if this goes to our attorney or to you.
Probably
But
the attorney.
how many people are on the library board?
I'm not exactly sure. It is a multi-member board where its board members are appointed from various municipalities, including the city of Murfreesboro, us, Smyrna, I believe Eagleville and Laverne. I'm not sure if Eagleville is included with that, but I think it's at least 7, I think.
Okay. It was brought to my attention that according to code that dictates our library board, that it should be an odd number of individuals, and that this appointment would make the number 10. Is there any way we can find that out?
Isn't this just filling a current vacancy on the board?
Which would give it 10.
Okay. Well, I don't know if there's a prohibition about that. I'd have to pull some files, which I do not have with me, to confirm that. That'd be a matter, though, for that board to deal with. It's not a county board per se because it's made up of multiple different members from different municipalities. It is a separate board. If for whatever reason the bylaws of the board call for an odd number, then I imagine that it would be back either here or some other municipality who has a vote on the board to fill an odd number spot.
Thank you.
Other questions? Once again, we'll call the roll, and you'll vote for either or Mr. Weincheck or Ms. Myrick. Are you ready? Lisa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Oliver,
Ms. Myrick.
Commissioner Piercy,
Ms. Myrick.
Commissioner Peay,
Myrick.
Commissioner Davison,
Myrick.
Commissioner Beverly,
Winsick.
Commissioner Cush,
Winsick.
Commissioner Reed,
Wincheck.
Commissioner James,
Winsick.
Commissioner Wilson,
Wincheck.
Commissioner Anthony Johnson,
Wincheck.
Commissioner Boyd,
Wincheck.
Commissioner Paul Johnson,
Wincheck.
Commissioner Irvin,
Wincheck.
Commissioner Harris, Commissioner Dodd,
Wincheck.
Commissioner McAdoo, Commissioner McMurray,
Myrick.
Commissioner Gooch,
Mr. Wincheck.
Commissioner Sereno,
Meyer.
Chairman Phillips,
Weincheck. Whenever you're ready, Lisa.
Mr. Wincheck, 13, Ms. Myrick, 7.
Congratulations, Mr. Weincheck. Commissioner Reed.
Item 8, we will now fill a vacancy for District 8 Commissioner seat. This is an interim term to end August 2026. Recall has been recommended by the steering committee in a vote of 4-2. This time I'll turn it over to the chair to take nominations for that.
Due to some nominations that are going to be made from the floor, I've spent extensive time with Nick over the last couple of days, and we continue to discover policies and procedures. So I'll proceed very slowly through this process. to make sure that I don't miss anything. So you guys forgive me if I don't speed read through this process. We have a nomination for Rick Hall from the steering committee. Are there other nominations from the floor?
Chairman Phillips, may I approach the well?
You may. Commissioner Pearcy.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Ordinarily, I would have sat over there and let this pass on like it come from the steering recommendation if it had been a unanimous vote. And if there hadn't been one vote missing because of the vacant seat. It's always good to see ex-commissioners come back and visit this commission. I enjoyed their speech for Mr. Hall. Mr. Jordan made a very specific point. The commissioner of a district is a very important person. It's who the district has to look to for help. What's the other man's name? No. Mr. Blair. I'm sorry, Mr. Blair. I served with both of these gentlemen. Mr. Blair made a good point. He's experienced something that I have not been able to experience with any three of these candidates. I have never met them personally. I've never had the joy of enjoying their company. I've never served with any of them. That puts me at a blank on that part. But back to the importance of the commissioner, it's my feelings that a district deserves to have their commissioner elected by the full commission. A full commission, I think, should choose between more than one person. By one person, they're appointed. If you elect from more than one, I call that being elected from a group. By that being said, I'm going to nominate Mr. Smith, Wesley Smith. Mr. Smith cannot be here tonight. His job took him out of town. He tried every way in the world to work it back to where he could be here and present himself. I have arranged, I won't put we in none of this. I have arranged his speech that he gave in front of steering to be aired on the big screen. Mr. Hall asked me in a conversation on the phone, could he speak in public? I'm all good with that. That will be y'all's choice. Somebody will need, am I out of line?
I'm sorry.
Am I out of line?
No, you're fine.
Okay. Somebody from the floor will need to make the motion to let both of those things happen. The film be showed and Mr. Hall to speak on his behalf. This has nothing to do with the candidates at all. It's all about District 3. I've had people call and wonder why it was done like it was done. I suppose it was policy, normal policy. I've been accused of trying to change policy. I'm not trying to change anything other than the fact that I think we need to represent District 3 by electing their commissioner. You can say, hey, if there was just one, we were all one vote, it'd be the same thing. No, it's not. It's not to that district and the people in it. Michael Rather has written a letter of recommendation. No one here feels comfortable reading it, including myself. There's a copy of it on everyone's desk. You can read it at your choice. I yield back to the chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Pearcy.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, ma'am.
I move that we allow Mr. Hall and airing of Mr. Smith's speeches.
Hold that motion.
Sure.
At this time, the County Commission will allow the opportunity for any registered voter of Rutherford County to submit names to the County Commission for consideration. In order for the name to be considered, a member of the county commission must nominate that person. If the person nominated is not present at the meeting, the person making the nomination must submit a signed statement from the nominee that the nominee is willing to serve in the office if appointed. Is there anyone who's a registered voter that would like to nominate any other registered voter from District 3? Seeing none, I'll declare the nominations cease. Now, Commissioner Oliver, did you have a question?
No, I made a motion. So is my motion not relevant at this time?
Okay, let me also read something that we've just discovered here tonight. This is a full page procedure for filling vacancies on the county legislative body. After nominations cease, which they just have, the county legislative body may discuss nominations and may, at the discretion of the chair, interview nominees or allow nominees the opportunity to address the county legislative body. It brings us to a certain dilemma. And according to this procedure, the nominees must make a presentation before this body. I think the motion is to play the video from the steering committee for, if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Smith. I'm sorry? No, Mr. Call is here. He can make his presentation. According to this policy, they must make a presentation before the county commission. The exception would be that we would allow Mr. Smith to make his presentation via video. What this wouldn't allow is for this body to ask questions. So we have a motion to allow Mr. Smith's presentation from the steering committee to be presented. See what I'm saying about complicated, you guys? I need a second on that motion. Second. We have a second. You'll be voting whether or not to allow the video from Mr. Smith to be presented. And this, passing this motion will allow Mr. Hall to make an in-person presentation. Once again, we have a motion and a second to allow Mr. Smith to make a video presentation. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed? I'm sorry. Commissioner Johnson, you stood up before I called the vote.
As far as showing a video, maybe it's a completely different thing, but it's related. I know at times a commissioner cannot be here, and they're never allowed to have any input in a meeting by way of video because there's no protocol or no ruling set up for that. We don't have anything set up to do what you just explained we're going to do, as far as I know. So I don't consider them really two different things. If we can do this, then someone is not going to, that's a sitting member, should be able to go by video. Just my 2 cents.
I'm going to ask Nick to respond to that. Once again, as I said more than once, this is a complicated process, and we're discovering more and more about this process. So, Nick, would you respond, please?
I think I understand that the video is of his interview done before the steering committee. It's already occurred. And so it's not as if he is elsewhere right now and doing a live stream for his interview process. That'd be the difference.
Any other questions? Any other comments? You rather call a roll? Okay, we'll have a roll call on this, if you would, Lisa. Once again, the motion is to approve for the video presentation of Mr. Smith. Call the roll, please, Lisa. I guess we can go on the board for this, if you would. Okay. If you would, please cast your vote.
Anyone that did not vote and wishes to vote, or anyone who would like to change your vote, you may do so now.
Record the vote.
17 yes, 2 no, 1 abstain.
Motion passes. At this time, I think we've got, if I'm not mistaken, we've got it keyed, and we'll only hear Mr. Smith's presentation and probably any questions that were asked at the end. So if IT is ready, would you please play that video?
My name is Wesley Smith, and I reside at 9400 Mona Road. Good evening, Mr. Chairman and fellow commissioners. I appreciate the time and everything that you have done for this community. Public service is a tough job, but a necessary one, and I want to thank you, and I want to thank your family members for the time that they have sacrificed by allowing you to do this. Like I said, my name is Wesley Smith, and my wife is Laura Elliott Smith, and we're proud members of District 3, the Mona community, we like to call it. My wife and her family have lived in the old Jefferson Mona community for over 150 years. My wife and I built our house about a half mile from her parents, Joelle and Brenda Elliott, who reside on Dinky Lane. In fact, my wife's first Christmas tree is planted in her parents' yard right there on Dinky Lane. That tree is well over 40 feet now and does not resemble a small family Christmas tree anymore. And the same can be said for Rutherford County, especially our district. We're no longer a small rural county, but have grown into one of the more premier and populated counties in the state. Laura's tree is a great reminder of what can happen when you plan and maintain something precious for years to come. Those roots go deep into the soil on Dinky Lane, and they're not going to be moved anytime soon. And that can be said about the same about me and my wife. We're not going anywhere anytime soon. We were married 20 years ago at Last Cassis Baptist Church. In fact, we got wedding photos in front of Mr. Piercy's green John Deere tractor over there. We've traveled for my career. We've lived in Memphis, Mississippi, Minnesota, and Texas, and those years away from home made us long for family and community, and we always knew we'd make our way back to Murfreesboro. We have 2 wonderful girls who both attend St. Rose School here in Murfreesboro. That school has been a wonderful partner in our family's lives. I proudly serve on the board at this school, where I spend the majority of my volunteer time coaching cross country, little girls basketball, and doing whatever I can to help that school succeed. My wife is the Chief Marketing Officer for SRM Concrete. SRM is a wonderful organization that constantly gives back to the community. As you all know, they're proud lifelong members of District 3. They've made deep commitments to this community as well, and my wife works tirelessly, not only in her professional career, but in the community and in her personal life. She's a board member of the Boys and Girls Club here in Rutherford County. She also serves on the newly formed board of the Rutherford County Schools Foundation. My wife and I are a team. We'll be, like I said, married 20 years this fall. She's my best friend and partner. We've supported every organization you can imagine here in Rutherford County, whether that's Young Life, FCA, Church Life, and a slew of other organizations. Professionally, I have worked in commercial insurance for almost 20 years. I currently work for Accident Fund Insurance. We specialize in work comp. And currently have the 2nd largest market share here in the state of comp. I manage about a $30 million book of business here in Nashville and West Tennessee. I've done everything that you can imagine in commercial insurance, from underwriting it to selling it to loss controlling it to auditing it. So I've spent my whole entire career making sure that I protect small family businesses and help them manage the risk that comes with that. My desire for this position is simple. It's time for me to do more in my community. District 3 faces many challenges in the days ahead, and I possess the necessary demeanor and skills to serve this community the best. Our country, our state, our community have seen too much political division lately, and decency is on the sidelines. Hate and pride rule the day. Many people are scared to enter the public life due to these examples, and except here tonight, that was the most well thought out, most qualified library position you'd ever see. I was very impressed. But community is what we're here to protect. Community starts by helping your neighbor, looking to others' needs, not your own, willing to walk the extra mile with your brother and sister in need. And in the days ahead, District 3 will see major changes, major warehouse development, expansion of the city of Smyrna, the Cherry Lane project. Things are in upheaval, but not in a terrible way, but it's all in the way that you frame it and protect it. My uncle has served for MTAS for over 30 years, and he has been the mayor off and on in my hometown in West Tennessee since the early 90s. He's pushed me to be more involved in my community, politically speaking, and with this opening, I believe this time is for me to enter the discussion. While many will say I do not have previous government experience, my answer is very simple. I have a heart of service, and I want what's best for all involved. I've always been a team player. I don't pretend to have all the answers, but I will bring an open and curious mind ready to learn and serve. This is not about Wesley Smith. It's about maintaining and planning. Just like when my father-in-law planted that Christmas tree back in 1984. He planted it, he had a plan, he nurtured it, and now one day he saw his grandchildren marvel at that small Christmas tree being 40 feet tall. It's a sense of family pride, and that's what I can say about District 3. We want to have pride. I want to be a part of something that folks in the years ahead can have that sense of pride, and I am the man for the job, and tonight I ask for your vote to be County Commissioner in District 3.
All right, any questions? Commissioner Reed?
Okay, let's see if we're lucky.
All right.
All right, Mr. Smith, you heard my question previously concerning the comprehensive plan and Plan Rutherford. I think we spoke on the telephone. Did you have an opportunity to go through that? And I want your opinions there too.
I did, and one of the interesting things is if you think about the way that runs, it looks more metroed out as you think about 840 and Smyrna and Murfreesboro, and then you have the horseshoe of more protection in that Las Casas, Rockville communities. And it does make sense, but in government, as maybe I said before, we're always a couple years behind trying to catch up to outside influences and development. And so the goal there is to have a plan. You can't do anything without a plan. And as you said, that's second to none as far as a comprehensive plan. It's time to move forward and move efficiently and to try to guard against runaway construction at this point. So I appreciate the work that you did and everyone who did that. Appreciate that, Mr. Reed.
Mike?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Smith, that was a very nice and well-prepared stump speech, so congratulations. If you don't make it, I look forward to hearing your campaign speeches in a year or so.
I don't know what you're talking about. Don't make it. Here we go. I'm asking for it. Here you go.
My concern and my question as the previous applicant was for the Middle Point landfill. Currently this commission has a unanimous no expansion vote recorded. At any time that vote could come back up in this commission or the next commission. So I'm curious about what your opinion of a county vote for expansion of Middle Point landfill.
I'll give you a small story. Back in 2021, I got on a plane going to Philadelphia to go visit some businesses in the Northeast. And on that plane, it was me and the rest of the plane who had been at the Richard Siegel soccer complex. And I was embarrassed to say that I was from Murfreesboro. So my vote would be no on expansion. Because it is, when you think about the Cherry Lane extension and you just think about some of those things, that doesn't bring a sense of pride. It brings a sense of shame. And there's a lot that goes with that. So I can be very clear when I say no.
Mr. Chair, similar to the question I had before, the biggest investment we make is public safety outside of education. Can you elaborate on any experience you have in public safety or kind of what you see our vision with growth in this county of how we keep up with the needs of public safety?
Well, like I said, private sector moves faster than the government sector, always. And so every day of my life I spend with business owners talking about safety, safety, safety. And a lot of that comes down to just doing the right things, making sure that your blocking and tackling is good. And what that means is doing the simple things well. So having a formal written safety plan, making sure that we have proper toolbox talks with our people, making sure that we're working a plan, and making sure that we quickly report things that don't go correctly, right? So that takes in looking at census information and addressing that need and anticipating that, whether that's through analytics or census information, but making sure that we put strategic growth and safety positions in the right places at the right time. So if you're looking in the rears, you're always going to be behind trying to catch up to that. And that comes from roads, that comes from looking at new fire and safety, and the addition and the cost-benefit analysis of where you put that stuff. So I spend my time career trying to figure out what's the next thing to look for. And you can do that in a myriad of ways. And that's where you use your resources. And that's where I've spent my career, is in that thought of risk management.
Mr. Johnson?
I can hear you, Mr. Johnson.
How do you consider yourself as a conservative or reformer?
Well, yes, sir. I'm probably the opposite of a risk taker. I think I've looked at loss runs for 25 plus years. Turn my girls into what I call safety Susans, where we're very averse to risk. I am very conservative in everything that I do, with an outlook. And can I just say thank you to this commission? The 2024 audited financial looks great. Now, we have debt service with schools, and there's not much you can do with that, with what's happened to the growth in this community, right? But outside of that, we look great. But slow and steady wins the race. I'm not an entrepreneur. I work for a large insurance carrier conglomerate where I tell everybody all the things that can go wrong if you take a risk, right? So, and many times I've told business owners, if you listen to me all day, you will never make money. We'll just stand here and look at what we're going to do. But that's what people do. They assume the risk, take the risk, make money on the risk. Very conservative, one of the more conservative individuals that you'll meet, especially financially.
Anybody else? Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Commissioners.
This time I'll call on Rick Hall. Rick, if you'd come forward, please, and make your comments and be available for questions from this body.
Chairman and Commission, thank you for having me here tonight. Guys, I'm not a stunt speak writer. Commissioner Cush said it. I speak from the heart when I speak. So I think the big hang up here tonight was, in coming into this I've had several conversations with Mr. Peay about my statement where I stood with the landfill. I'm an emphatic no to the landfill, but just like Mr. Smith said, he's open-minded. I'm open-minded about our future and how we're going to handle it. I said that night, I'm looking forward to Ms. Barrett's conversation about a plan that she wants to set forward. I saw her a week beforehand at WGNS, and we talked then that we were excited to get together to understand what our future was. I've talked to a lot of y'all that I've been able to. I've wrote a speech. I can read the speech if you want to, but I think you would rather hear from somebody who talks from the heart. I could have sat up here and read this 3-page document I did, as you saw tonight, but I'm speaking from my heart. I'm a man of service. I started in 1993 as a police officer. I did 25 years and I retired. and I've never quit serving. I'm on the Industrial Development Board, Juvenile Detention Board. I'm on the board for our Rotary Club. I do Meals on Wheels. I deliver in District 5, which is Laverne for Ms. Davis and Ms. Oliver. Laverne, I go down there at least twice a month and deliver meals down that way. That's just part of service and volunteering that my family's put in me, my community has put in me, and this county has put in me. I don't know where other I can leave that. I'm humbled. I'm thankful. I had two men speak for me tonight that, again, spoke from the heart. They didn't come up here and read anything of my friendship that I've had with them for these years. I rely on both of them as allies and great friends for advice in the past and in the future. And that's what I'm here for. I was on the county commission from 2006 to 2010. I was chairman of property management. I was on public safety. I have the experience for the next 9 months that you guys need, that I can hit the ground and keep running, and this commission can go on. There is little things I'll probably need to learn about the budgeting process where it's changed over the last few years, but outside of that, I know where public safety is. I feel like I got a really good rapport with the fire department. I've got a really good rapport, I believe, with Sheriff Fitzhugh and his staff there at the sheriff's office. I'm just ready to serve, and I would appreciate your vote on this tonight. I know this is a very abnormal thing that you guys are being put through, and I'm sorry for that. I wish I could change it, but we are where we are. But I'll be glad to answer questions if you've got them.
Questions? Any questions? Thank you, Rick.
Thanks.
We have two applicants to fill the District 3 Commissioner seat. Mr. Rick Hall, and if I'm not mistaken, it's Wesley Smith, Mr. Wesley Smith. So you'll be voting for one, and we'll do a roll call on this. Questions or comments at this time?
Mr. Chair. Well, since Commissioner Pearcy was able to make a comment about Mr. Smith, is it okay for some of the other commissioners to make a comment?
The answer is absolutely yes.
Well, as Mr. Hall stated, he's former commissioner. I had the pleasure and opportunity to serve with former Commissioner Hall, and I found that he has a lot of integrity. I found that if he tells you something, he keeps his word. He's a solid man, and I would highly recommend him. Thank you.
Thank you. Other Commissioner Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As all of you, I think, know, I was here for 17 years and was gone for 12. That 17 years, I had the privilege of working with many fine men up here and women. And this commission has come a long way. But back then, we got a lot done. We get a lot done now. One reason we got a lot done back then is because of people like Rick Hall. Rick Hall was an excellent representative for his district and the rest of his county. He's a man that'll do his job. Like Commissioner Peay said, you can trust him. Whatever he tells you, that's what he's going to stick with. As far as experience, I think in this situation, we're looking for experience. I am. I haven't, over the time that I've been up here, the whole time, I don't think I've ever seen anyone come for an appointment that was more qualified, in all ways, more qualified than we actually require. Rick Hall's the man for the job. I'm sorry, the other guy,
Smith.
Mr. Smith. I'm sorry, I don't know him. Don't have anything against him. And that's fine that he put his hat in the ring. But I didn't hear the experience. And we got to see it here. I don't see the experience. That's what we've got to trust in, on this nomination is experience. Learning curve. I'll tell you, I'm going on starting 21 years now up here, and I'm still learning. You learn something every day, but the learning curve is tremendous when you come up here. You'll come up and think that, oh, I'm going to get this done, I'm going to get that done. Well, Rick Hall knows what's going to be done, what can be done, and what won't be. Somebody else coming in, they don't realize that until you get up here. You've got, my first year up here, I went to every meeting. I didn't miss a one, whether I was paid for it or not. I went to everybody's meeting because that learning curve I knew was large, and it made a difference. But no matter how long you're up here, you're always learning. Rick Hall has that experience. He can hit the ground running. Thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Beverly.
Thank you. I'm going to echo some of that, but I want to start by saying how blessed we are as a community. And I walked out of that steering committee feeling blessed that we had candidates like Ms. Young, Mr. Smith, and Mr. Hall that wanted to serve. We saw Mr. Smith's presentation, and I understand work took him away, and we saw Mr. Hall speak, but I don't know Mr. Smith, but I do know Mr. Hall. I moved in 4 doors down from him almost 2 decades ago. Immediately, he showed me he was a friend, a mentor. I took a liking into law enforcement, and for my senior project, he helped me on that. I wanted to run for county commission. He guided me on that. We have served together at the police department, backed each other up on calls, sat across from each other at the Smryna Rotary Club, numerous fraternal order police events. I'm proud to call him a friend, and I'm proud to see him considered here today, and I think he is the right choice because I think of all the things I learned in the first 8 months of my first year, I'm blessed to have the experience wanting to serve now. I've been on where Mr. Smith is, where you apply for the vacancy of an appointment and you don't get the steering nod. 8 months from now, there's an election. The people will decide, but it's our job to put somebody in to represent them for 8 months, and I think that man's Rick Hall.
Thank you. Anyone else? Commissioner James.
I'm kind of conflicted with this right now for multiple reasons. While watching steering, my first choice was Mr. Smith personally, and then shortly after I got in contact with Mr. Hall via phone call, and he settled a lot of the nerves and calmed everything down. I find both of them to be very capable, and I agree with Commissioner Beverly that we are very blessed that this district has several good candidates to represent them. I also agree with Mr. Pearcey said that I feel awkward, and that's where I continue to feel conflicted on the process of appointing their representative versus the elected representative, so to speak. I read Mr. Rather's letter, and I listen to former commissioners, which I respect gratefully. But I look and lean heavily on the fact that the districts change over time. The voices change over time. And all we have, honestly, is the most recent elected voice of that district, which is Mr. Rather, who in this case has provided a letter that I found shortly before we started the meeting tonight that recommends Mr. Smith. So I still stand conflicted. But I urge us to use caution, heart, and be ready to serve with whoever that we nominate on this. And I really hope that together we make the right decision overall for the county.
Anyone else?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes. Commissioner Oliver.
just an observation, because I find it interesting that my colleagues are touting experience. In our last vote, we decided against experience. So just an observation.
Anyone else? Ready to vote? Once again, Madam Clerk will call the roll, and you'll be voting for one of the two candidates, Mr. Hall or Mr. Smith. Lisa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Oliver,
Hall.
Commissioner Piercy,
Smith.
Commissioner Peay,
Hall.
Commissioner Davison,
Hall.
Commissioner Beverly,
Hall.
Commissioner Cush,
Smith.
Commissioner Reed,
Rick Hall.
Commissioner James,
Smith.
Commissioner Wilson,
Hall.
Commissioner Anthony Johnson,
Rick Hall.
Commissioner Boyd,
Rick Hall.
Commissioner Paul Johnson,
Smith.
Commissioner Irvin,
Smith.
Commissioner Harris, Commissioner Dodd,
Hall.
Commissioner McAdoo, Commissioner McMurray,
Hall.
Commissioner Gooch,
Mr. Hall, Rick Hall.
Commissioner Sereno,
Rick Hall.
Chairman Phillips,
Rick Hall.
the results are 14, Mr. Hall, 6, Mr. Smith.
Congratulations. At this time, Mr. Hall, we invite you, and if you've got a family member you'd like to bring with you, up to the podium, and we're going to swear you in. And I'll call on our County Mayor, Joe Carr, to do the ceremony.
Mr. Chairman,
Mayor.
with your indulgence, I've asked, since we don't have a photographer here tonight, and this is indeed an auspicious occasion for Mr. Hall and his family, I've asked Eric Hennessy if he will take pictures. So with your permission, as we administer the oath, I've asked Mr. Hennessy to take pictures for the record for Mr. and Mrs. Hall, if that's okay.
Eric, make yourself visible. Rick, why don't you introduce your darling wife? I see she's already dressing you or redressing you up here. I've got one,
This is the
too.
one that keeps us right there. Everybody, this is my wife, Stacy. Hi, Stacy.
Hi.
Rick?
I got my kids watching at home tonight. I told them it's going to be a late night. but-
Rick, you and Stacy step forward a little bit so everybody can hear you.
Yes, sir.
Repeat after me, please. I, Rick Hall,
I, Rick Hall,
do solemnly swear that I will perform
I solemnly swear I will perform
with fidelity the duties of this office
with fidelity the duties of this office
to which I've been elected
to which I've been elected
and which I'm about to assume.
and which I'm about to assume.
I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
to support the constitutions of Tennessee and the United States of America,
to support the constitutions of Tennessee and the United States of America,
and to faithfully perform the duties
and faithfully perform the duties
of the office of County Commissioner,
of the office of County Commissioner,
representing the 3rd District of Rutherford County of Tennessee.
representing the 3rd District of the County of Rutherford County of Tennessee.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
No, not yet. We'll make that announcement. Rick, you need to sign.
Rick, you have anything you want to say?
I think I said it. Y'all been here long enough.
Sign and print your name. I've got to get this to the clerk. Thank you, sir. Excellent. Thank you.
Rick, if you would, please take your seat.
Thank you, sir.
Moving right along, we're getting back to elections and confirmations. Commissioner Reed, are you done? I know you don't have your hearing aids in, but are you done? Okay. Under elections and confirmations, item number 9, we're going to tentatively elect our chairman pro tem. So the floor is open for nominations.
Mr. Chair, I nominate
Commissioner McMurray.
Mr. Trey Gooch.
Trey Gooch has been nominated. Anyone else? I'll entertain a motion for acclamation.
Motion. So moved. So moved.
All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Thank you. Congratulations. The chair will need to vacate the chair and recognize our chairman pro tem.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The chair for the next 2 minutes will take nominations for temporary chairman.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to nominate Jeff Phillips for chairman of the commission.
Nominations of Jeff Phillips.
Second.
And is there a motion to cease nominations and vote by acclamation?
So moved.
All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Motion passes. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Trey. Very good. Appreciate your confidence. Item 11, I want to announce the election of our chaplain at our September commission meeting. At this time, we need to elect our steering committee meeting, and we'll open the floor for nominations.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Johnson.
I nominate Patricia Reed.
Pettis Reed.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Reed.
I nominate Commissioner Allen McAdoo.
Commissioner McAdoo.
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Piercy.
I nominate Craig Harris.
Craig Harris.
Mr. Chair.
Wait a minute, I can't write that fast. Commissioner Beverly.
I nominate Commissioner Cush.
Commissioner Cush.
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner McAdoo.
I nominate Paul Johnson.
Paul Johnson.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Dodd.
I nominate Phil Wilson.
Phil Wilson.
I nominate Jonathan Beverly.
Jonathan Beverly. Others? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion to approve these 7 by acclamation. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Commissioner Reed, Commissioner McAdoo, Commissioner Harris, Commissioner Cush, Commissioner Paul Johnson, Commissioner Wilson, Commissioner Beverly. Our new steering committee, you'll need to come to the front, elect a chairman. And a vice chairman. Chairman Pro Tem.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Gentlemen, at this time, I'll take nominations for chair of the steering committee.
Mr. Chairman. I nominate Craig Harris.
Craig Harris, is there a second, Mr. Johnson? Any others?
Motion to cease and vote by acclamation.
Is there a second for that? Second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion passes. Congratulations, Chair.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. I'm opening up the floor for vice chair. Take key nominations.
Mr. Pettis Reed.
Commissioner Reed. Do I have anybody else? Anybody cease nomination? So moved. So moved. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you, Chairman Reed. I will have these, your list for committees, so you'll need to get those to me. I don't know if we got them or not. We'll find them. We need to fill them out so I can get that to the committee and get our committees filled. Thank you.
Thank you. Brings us to an end of elections and confirmations. At this time, I'll recognize our Chairman Pro Tem Trey Gooch for our consent agenda.
I'm sorry, Commissioner Cush was bothering me. On the consent agenda, I would like to bring your attention, colleagues, to item number 14. This is debt service fund for the Laverne High School and the new middle school. It's appropriate for the consent agenda, but needs to be mentioned publicly. My motion is to approve the consent agenda.
We have a motion and a second to approve our consent agenda. Any questions or comments?
Mr. Chairman, I do have a question.
Commissioner Oliver.
And it's a lot on this consent agenda, but does any of this include the Church Street building that we're supposedly negotiating with the schools?
No, ma'am.
So that'll be next month.
There would be nothing for us to approve. The county already owns the building.
Yeah, I realize that, and that's my question, because why we pay for it twice?
We did not pay for it twice.
Okay, we paid for the building, we own the building, and then we increased the school board budget so that we could get the building that we already own.
No, that.
And I asked that question specifically when we were dealing with budget, and no one told me the truth. And then when I see the school board come up and say, well, we negotiated with Mayor Carr so we can get more maintenance of effort and we'll swap this building now, blah, blah, blah. I asked that question twice and no one told me what I needed to know. And I'm curious about that.
So there was no money exchanged between either the county or the school board for this building. I believe the discussions were around we were going to pull more, maybe needed to pull more money to purchase a building or something like that. And they said, hey, we have one you could use. It was not, hey, we're going to give you more for the building. It was.
Well, maintenance of effort was increased 2.3 million above what was requested. And it was reported in the school board meeting that it was because of this negotiation for this building.
No, ma'am. They requested much more than that. I believe it was 2.9. I have to go back and look. They requested.
Well, $3 million. We can round it off. But they said that it was in negotiation for the building on Church Street to give that back to the county. And I'm like, well, we already own the building, so why are we paying $3 million for a building we already own?
No, ma'am. So I can't speak to what they said at the school board meeting because I was not there. I can only speak to the direct discussions when it regarded MOE, and they requested much more than $3 million. And that $3 million almost equates exactly to what it costs to open the new elementary school. And when part of the discussions were we were going to have to move money around between them and debt service, as far as this came at the same time as we were negotiating to borrow land for the middle school. That's a report on Geo Bonds that's on your screen tonight, and for Laverne High School. And so talks of that where we're going to have to shift more money from them, and we were trying to give them as much as they requested without cutting other services. They requested originally 8 to 10 million, I think, is what the first number that they requested from us, and there was no way that was attainable. But in no way was there an exact price. I was not involved in any discussions. I don't believe the mayor's office was either.
Well, I was just taken aback when I heard Dr. Sullivan say that in the school board meeting twice, in the work session and in the actual meeting, and so that was just news to me. So I was concerned. I am concerned. Thank you.
Getting back to the consent agenda. Any other questions or comments? for this, commissioners, will be on the board. If you would, please cast your vote.
Anyone that did not vote and wishes to vote, or anyone who would like to change your vote, you may do so now.
Record the vote.
21 yes.
Motion passes. Next on our agenda is item J, unfinished business, and without objection, I'm going to move item L5, which is the presentation of Donna Barrett on recycle right, to this place on our agenda. And as Ms. Barrett is getting ready for this, we are going to take a 5-minute break because this commissioner needs one. We'll be adjourned for 5 minutes. I'll call the commission back into order and recognize our Public Works Chairman, Commissioner Anthony Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Well, it's my honor and privilege once again to call up Ms. Donna Barrett. She's with Recycle Right, Tennessee. And Ms. Donna and her, I'll say crew, work very hard, and we're trying to move us into the future on our recycling. And we've got to get this diversion, this landfill diversion working, and that's what this is all about. And it's always a privilege to see Ronnie here too. So, Ms. Donna Barrett.
Thank you, Commissioners, for allowing me to be here tonight. I hope I'm loud enough with the new system. If I'm not, I'll steal somebody's microphone. And to complicate matters, IT is going to be my hands on the screen, so we'll see how well I can get this done. I want to start by saying it's been about 60 days or more since I last presented to this body with a promise that we would be bringing forth the first step in our recycling efforts. And I'm pleased to say that we have launched, and we are 30 days into the launch of Recycle Right TN. So let me begin, next page, with reminding you that this is a pilot program, and our proposal was that we needed, our funding priority for the pilot program was education and grants, with the funding to begin, or expenses to begin, about July 1, pending all the improvements. We received the improvements, and next slide. Next slide. It should be, yes. On July 16th, we launched RecycleRightTN.com. Next slide. Our mission with the Facebook page, with the website, was to aim to make recycling both accessible and understandable, and answering the questions, where do I recycle and what can I recycle? Those were and are the basic questions with any program, any diversion that we have in the past, here now, and going forward in the future. Without these bedrocks being answered, we don't have a program. Next slide. As you all know, we have 13, I think, convenience centers located in Rutherford County. This is the area where they are all located, reaching our population quite well as we have grown. With the exception with Haley Road there in the center, currently down for remodel, which we hope will quickly be opened back up. It's a central location for our city residents here in Murfreesboro, and we look forward to having that back open. Next slide. As we put together this recycling program, this clearinghouse, if you will, which is what it is, one of the things we wanted to do was, again, find out where can we recycle? Where can we send folks to recycle? We know we have our convenience centers, although the information about what can and can't be taken there, it was spotty at best as far as that information being known to our community. The next thing to find out was where else can we recycle? As I had hinted in the presentations, we have lots of private sector partners, intentionally or not, whether they are in that recycle industry or whether or not that's part of their sustainability program for their corporation. As we put together this program, we identified 85 private sector partners. Now, this is regionally. Again, we're 4 counties, Rutherford, Coffee, Cannon, and Warren. Rutherford being our largest, thus we have the biggest opportunity with Rutherford County. 66 of those private sector partners, that means 66 other locations other than our 13 convenience centers, have things that are locations where various items can be recycled at in our community right now. Next slide. If you'll click on if you'll click on the website, this is our website, recyclerightTN.com. This is our homepage. I will preface this by saying what you're going to see is a very simple website, and we did that intentionally. I didn't want people having to hunt to find where to click, what we're looking for, go through a bunch of verbose just to get the information they're looking for. There's enough of that out there. We wanted it clean and simple. Go here, do this, there you are. Let's move down. So we have Rutherford, Coffee, Cannon, and Warren counties. We give them a bit of information about recycling, and then we have some other, a facts page, a contact page, and then a second way to pick your county. Move back up halfway to the page, and let's click on Rutherford County. This will give you an example of what's available in each county. Every county on here is similar to this with what's available there. Here you will see we have 2 options. You have your convenience center locations and you have your recycling locations. Am I being heard well enough by the audience? Good. Let's click on convenience centers really quick. Here we have listed alphabetically every one of our convenience centers in Rutherford County. Scroll down a little bit. We have their operating hours. We have the materials collected that are recyclable at those convenience centers. As you know, the convenience centers are recycle locations and just solid waste disposal locations. The materials collected are the recyclables. I will give a caveat. Mattresses are collected there, which is a good thing. It gets them off your back roads. Right now, they are not currently recycled. They can be recycled, and our solid waste director is working with negotiations to get the contract with the recycler that we have located both in Nashville and Memphis. There's 2 locations in the state, to have an opportunity to recycle these mattresses. And that recycling company can recycle everything, including the sweat, I've been told. But nonetheless, the mattresses are recyclable. We're working to make that happen, but we do have a convenient location for them all right now. We even have the addresses linked to Google Earth or Google Drive, Google Maps. You click on that and it'll take them right there. All the questions answered in one spot for our residents. Now, if we can click on recycling centers up in the right-hand corner, please. These are the private sector locations. Come down, yeah, there in the green. Those are the individual categories here in Rutherford County alone that we have either private sector locations or at our convenience centers. We've included the convenience centers in this list as well. For example, of private sector, let's go to the computers, Macs, laptops, accessories, second column, about 4th one down, please. You have all the industries that currently take those electronic items. If there is a fee associated with it, that information will be on here too. If there's no note on there that there's a fee, there is no fee for these drop-offs. If we have additional information at those locations, because some of them take so many categories, click down to full list of items accepted. We have additional information from those centers if there's other things that they take. We try to give it a general category. All right, let's see if we can go back to the home page. Go down to facts, please. 3rd item in the menu bar. Yes, thank you. And then here we have some of the frequently asked questions that we have come up with that we see that come through the industry that answer those for them. And then if we could go back to the home page and go to contact us. Contact, yes. We have a contact page. Day one, within 1 hour of this site going live, we had questions coming in, either what to do or recommendations of this isn't working, this is what I'd like to see differently at the convenience centers, or why does it work this way? Very interactive. We've had it both with this, with our Instagram page, and with our Facebook page. When the website went live, both the Facebook and the Instagram pages went live as well, and the interaction has been well. The website page has been up 30 days today. We have had 4,270 views on that page. The only marketing we have done is press release and an interview with WGNS prior to the launching. Thanks to Public Works, we do have some recommendations for other marketing avenues, and we're going to be pursuing those. In addition to that, we've got some community events that we are participating in, but the overwhelming response has been better than we could have ever expected. This website is PC friendly, and it is also mobile friendly. Let's go back to the, we won't have to. You can go back to the homepage for now. I showed you on the convenience centers that it has the Google map direction. It does that also for each of the recycling partners that we have, so you can right then go, well, where is this Staples, or where is this Kroger, or where is this Batteries Plus? Whatever the location is, it is there. We can go back to the PowerPoint now, please. Again, this is just some of the extra information we include. This is the process for your batteries. One of the more volatile things that we have going in our landfills we'd like to take out. So we show some of the questions we get just because of how the industry has been is, well, I don't really believe that's recycled. How do you know that's going where it's going? We get information like this. Every private sector partner we have is vetted. It's either a site visit that we've gone to, we've called their corporate sustainability department and received information directly from conversations with them, or the documentation they have on their website like this. So we can say they're vetted, the end result, this gets recycled, reused. It does not end up in a landfill. And while we're on that, Public Works took up all my gifts that I had, but I'm going to challenge everybody here, go to Staples, get a little box, put your batteries in it, take it back to Staples. This works wonderfully. Public Works should have already filled their boxes now, so you guys get a chance to catch up with them and see who delivers their box first. But I'm challenging you all to do that. I had to empty mine to bring it here. Next slide, please. Again, just another example of information that the private sector provides in their sustainability programs that we're able to take advantage of and use as well. Next slide. Next slide. Again, another example explaining what the plastics are. As you know, that's the one where it depends on what plastic you have, where it goes. So we give explanation onto the plastics. Our Facebook page is a little more proactive, and it sends things out more frequently and explains in detail what to look for in your plastics and things along that line. Next slide. Next, please. As I indicated, we're also in our marketing aspects partnering with and or promoting other things in the community. MTSU has a MTSU Recycles Stop and Drop. It is only for their students and their faculty, but they conduct it once a month. So we are happy to promote what they're doing and try to get word out about that and help them in any way they need to keep that going on a monthly basis throughout that our academic community here. Next slide. I am pleased to say that this Saturday, I'll be out in my jeans and t-shirt and tennis shoes, and I'll be taking things at the Recycle Roundup. It is a partnership we have joined in with the Tennessee Environmental Council. They started this 3 years ago here in Rutherford, providing this here in Rutherford County as an opportunity to collect or drop off hard-to-recycle items. So this is going to be some of the things we don't typically see at our convenience centers. Blocks of styrofoam, tattered socks, ink cartridges, although we see those at other places. Medications, any unused medications that currently have to be taken to the sheriff's office or the city police department. Now we have a drop-off for them this one day, Saturday, from 9 to 1 o'clock. Bring out all your recyclables. We'll even take mattresses and tires in, but only 8. So if you're coming, bring 2 different cars. 2 different trucks. Next slide, please. The local sponsors we have for the Recycle Roundup. I contacted some of our private sector individuals, and I'm proud to say that First Bank participated. Beverage Association of Tennessee is going to keep us all hydrated tomorrow. They just didn't tell me exactly what they're going to hydrate us with, but we'll get something. I want to thank the Central Tennessee Regional Planning Board. They came through with a donation to make this event possible. It is free to the public, but there are some fees involved with it, particularly for the tires and the mattresses. We get those at a reduced rate for this particular event. We still have to raise the funds for it to keep it free for the public. The sheriff's office will be there. We had to have officers there for the medicinal purpose, medical pickups. So we'll have 2 officers there with whatever bin they have to put it in, so we won't be touching medications. I can't slip you any oxycodone under the table, guys, sorry. MTSU will be there. Obviously, we're having it on-site at MTSU's Rutherford Boulevard parking lot. So that's our location. And then I want to say my thanks to the county mayor and Public Works for supporting the mayor in his contribution on behalf of the county for a sponsorship for this event to make it happen. Typically, TSC does this with grant funding. Their grant funding was in peril this year with things going on in DC, so we just said, we want this to happen, we need it here, it's been a success, we want to capitalize on it and build off of it. It gives us an opportunity to promote Recycle Right TN to about 400 to 500 people that will come through in that 4-hour time period, if not more, based on last year's numbers. So we're excited to have that sponsorship and media outreach. Next slide, please. Again, as a disclaimer, mattresses are not being recycled at our convenience centers. They are being collected there, and my understanding is we have 10 to 12 of these roll-offs filled weekly that we end up disposing of as a county. So there is a need to find a service for this to keep them out of the landfill. Also I'm working with some of our mattress companies, mattress entities here to let them know that there are recycling opportunities because they were unaware. So our goal is to make not only our residents aware of what's out there, but our small businesses and business entities aware of what's out there. That will come at a later phase. Right now, everything's focused on residents and getting this up and running. Next slide, please. I wanted to give a really big thank you to some of our convenience center workers, Scott, Shirley, George, Pam, Mark, JP, and Lonnie, at the 4 convenience centers that I toured. Wonderful people. They love their job, and they will let you know if you're not supposed to be there. I almost got kicked off. But no, they're great people. They do a wonderful job, and they make sure that we have good, clean recycling streams, so we have no contamination. So if you see them, give them a thank you for the hard work that they do. Next slide, please. Do I have a next slide after this? Oh, I'm done. Tried to make this as quick as easy as I could. A couple of things I wanted to add to that. We are working on more in our education, so the next step is programs. We have met with Discovery Center, and we are working on pop-up programs there at the Discovery Center, working our timing on that, so that's actively moving forward. And we will be participating in their STEAM-a-Palooza in October. I think it's October the 11th. We'll have a booth up. We have the kids from all over the state that will come there for that STEAM week of STEAM Fest week, and we'll be participating in that, having a presence there to get our message out about that. I have a couple of asks of this committee, and then I'll stand for some questions. As we move forward to the next phases for recycling and what we need to do next, one, I want to remind everybody, this is a regional project. Yes, it's key for us, which is one of the reasons I put so much effort in getting it here first, starting it here. We have the greatest opportunity, but we have the greatest need. But this is regional, so the work we do is for Rutherford, Coffee, Cannon, and Warren. And this same presentation, this same effort will be redone and presented to the other counties this month as well. You're just getting first look at it, but it's all up and active and running for all the counties right now. We have the best opportunity. We have the best private partner locations around. As you saw, 66 of the 89 are here in Rutherford County for our residents. So I was very, very pleased to see that. We get to be the model to the other counties as what's needed to make it work with private sector as well. Again, as I say, there's more steps to this. This is just the beginning. It's not the end of what we need to do or what we're going to do with Recycle Right TM. But I have an ask of this committee. Other than starting your collection of something, we need a traffic count at the convenience centers. It will help us going forward to have benchmarks to know successes and for other avenues that we need to go down with our recycling and build out of things. So I'm asking for, and I presented this to Public Works as well, I would like a one-week traffic count at the convenience centers. I'll be asking this of the other counties as well. It's very important to start with key performance indicators so we can know where we're making progress, whether this is beneficial on a whole lot of fronts. Yes, sir.
When you presented that to Public Works, there was confusion on how that would be done. You just asked traffic count at the convenience center.
Yes, sir.
You just want to know how many is going in for everything or just recycling?
Everything.
That can be done.
Yeah. And I only need 1 week's worth. I think that will be sufficient. And as a reminder to this, well, as a little legislative update that I didn't have in this, the state of Tennessee has a task force that they're developing. It's a 4-year task force to look at landfilling, recycling, diversion, all things solid waste. I think the information we gather will be beneficial for that. I am one of the members on that task force. Senator Reeves is the chairman of that. So any of the information we're gathering will help not only on this local level, but it'll help on a state level as well. So that's another reason. And again, when I made that request initially, everything was starting to come together and I couldn't fully present it. I probably still don't have everything in mind that it needs to be used for. I just know every day more goes by and that information will be very helpful as we move forward. And then if it will make everybody happy, I know it will make me happy, unless I have substantive information to bring forth, a new website, a new initiative, a new phase, our sub-recipient grant requires me to present quarterly to this board. If I can do that with just a written report, unless I have something major, I'd like that. So if that is acceptable by this board, I'll make that to Public Works on a quarterly basis, and it can be presented in your packets. And I'll stand for questions. I have nothing for you to vote on. So no roll call vote, I promise.
Questions?
Still learning. So in communities when they're having like family, public events, things of that nature, would you have material available to hand out to the public, or is it just more we're trying to push people to the website?
Any of the material we have will push people to the website. Right now we'll have, for the event Saturday, we'll have a postcard. It'll have our QR code on there and direct everybody to there. The information that this already contains, plus what I expect it to grow to, will be so voluminous, I'll be handing them a copy of, Britannica Encyclopedia to include all of that information. This is the best source for getting all the information out, so we would like to direct everybody there. Plus, it cuts down on paper, and that's less, so we go to the landfill.
So how can community leaders reach out to you to get your group to come to them? What is the best way?
Use the contact page. Everything filters through that and comes directly to me, and I can farm it out to either the assistant we have or any of one of our recycling partners that we're joining together. We have a meeting on Friday with the other community recycling groups or those interested in recycling to see how we can put our resources together and where we go now as a team now that we've got a platform to build off of. But use the contact form on that. Yes. And please feel free to share the website far and wide.
Commissioner James?
Mrs. Barrett, I had a question while you were about midway through the presentation. It just kind of dawned on me that like to know if there's a way to figure this out if you don't already have it. So now the website's up and running with traffic, with good traffic flow, it sounds like. Is there a matrix set up to tell us the ratio of users of the site that actually follow through and recycle, or some kind of matrix set up to show us what the new added diversion rate with these industry partners would be for us to calculate in the county?
I think the way that, I can ask that of our website designer. However, it would be very difficult unless they gave us feedback and said, oh, now I recycle when I didn't. We're not going to track it. You know, there's no contact tracking or tracing with the system to be able to know who follows through with it. So no, at this time.
What about with the industry leaders that are signed on to help take on the recycling, as far as to keep a kind of a tab of tonnage that we divert out of the landfill? Anything on that yet?
You know, if there's increases, when we see increases in the tonnage, you'll see that Public Works, I believe you get reports monthly on the tonnage that comes through. So those reports are already available to the county here for the tonnages that come in. So that's an easy comparison on that that's built in here, which we could use for a tracking mechanism.
Ms. Barrett,
Commissioner Johnson.
you mentioned the boxes from Staples for the batteries.
Mm-hmm.
What is that minimal cost on that? I know it's not much, but
$1.25.
Other questions at this time?
Yes, sir.
Any other questions? Donna said she didn't need anything from us, but I'm going to ask for a motion to support the efforts of this programming for Recycle Right and to move forward, for Rutherford County to move forward.
so moved.
I have a motion and a second. Now discussion on the motion. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Motion passes. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Barrett.
Thank you, Commissioners. I appreciate all the help.
Item L, reports of standing committees. Item,
Make the county attorney start recycling.
Happy to do it.
item L1, Budget, Finance, and Investment Committee, Chairman Robert Peay.
Well, I want to start off by saying thank you to Mr. Cody for our new sound system. I think this works so much better than what we've had in the past, and him and all his crew. But thank you very much. I'm kind of in disarray now. Here we go. First item on our agenda is Budget Item A. Be it resolved by the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners that the Solid Waste Fund be amended as follows. Post-closure care cost increased expenditures, contract with private agencies, $808,000. A decrease in assigned for public health and welfare, $808,000. Resolved this 14th day of August, 2025. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
I have a motion and a second. Discussion. Will be on the board. Commissioners, please cast your vote.
Anyone that did not vote and wishes to vote, or anyone who would like to change your vote, you may do so now.
Record the vote.
21 yes.
Motion passes. Commissioner Peay.
Our next item is a inducement resolution, which comes from our Health and Education Facilities Board of Rutherford County. And basically, I'm going to try not to read through this. If you have questions, Mr. Boland is here. He can specifically answer these for you. But basically, we're allowing them to issue bonds for MTSU housing. We're basically a funnel. We flow through the money, which is up to, I think, $60 million in bonds for housing for MTSU. There is no cost to the county. There is no obligation for any debt from these bonds by the county. If you have any questions on that, like I said, I can refer that to Mr. Boland, who's patiently sat here just in case we did have questions. But, Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve this. And what is today's the 14th day of August, 2025. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Questions?
I do have a question, Mr.
Commissioner
Chairman,
Oliver.
please, because I do not understand the reason for this pass-through, I guess. So I didn't clearly understand it when I watched the presentation.
This is something we've done in the past, and like I said, I've got Mr. Boland here, and I'm going to call on him to answer that for you. But this is something allowed by state law for us to do this with a different group, or I guess in this case, these people do housing, and they're doing housing for MTSU. Basically, they're issuing a bond, and we're taking that money just to flow through.
Right, but I'm curious as to why. What is the benefit?
Chair recognizes.
Is it a tax
Mr. Boland.
break, or what? I mean, what's the reason?
Well, while Sumner's coming up here, I want to clarify, we're not actually passing money through the county. The county is not issuing these bonds. We're allowing these to be issued through the Health and Educational Facilities Board, which benefits the development that they're doing. So we're the conduit, really, allowing them to do this through the Health and Education Facilities Board. The county itself is not issuing any debt. We're not obligated in any way. We're allowing them to use that Health and Education Facilities Board. So we're more of a conduit to allow them to utilize that than we are as far as actually helping them with the finances. Nothing will flow through my office or anything like that. I think Sumner could speak directly to the tax breaks and things like that you're asking about. But I just wanted to be clear as far as you won't see that on any of our financials or anything like that. We're just the conduit to allow them to do this.
Mr. Boland, you're
Chairman.
recognized.
There are certain entities, Commissioner, in the state that are authorized to issue revenue bonds. And so if there's going to be a bond issuance, not a GO bond like the county would issue, but a revenue bond that's confined to a particular type of project, they got to go to one of these statutorily authorized entities, and the Health and Ed Board is one of them. And so we quite literally are, as Mr. Peay said, a conduit, just because we have the statutory authority to do it. But there's no liability for the repayment of any of that indebtedness. It's just we're the vehicle by which they can borrow the money at a lower interest rate because of the fact that the bonds are then tax exempt.
That's what I was trying to get to. Thank you.
Other questions? Thank you, Mr. Boland. I think we have a motion and a second, if I remember right. Okay. Other questions? Commissioners, please cast your vote.
Anyone that did not vote and wishes to vote, or anyone who would like to change your vote, you may do so now.
Record the vote.
21 yes.
Motion passes. Chairman Peay.
Budget item C, this is a resolution for the Smryna County Clerk building to do an extension. Resolution, whereas there is a need for the construction of a canopy and driveway extension at the County Clerk Building located in Smyrna, and whereas the Property Management Committee and the Budget Committee have recommended approval of engaging Klein Sweeney and Associates to produce a design of said canopy and driveway extension at the County Clerk Building located in Smyrna, with said design thereafter being part of the construction bid for the same and the EMS station project located off Weekly Lane, which is to be presented at a later date for approval and funding. Whereas the cost of said design as proposed by Klein Sweeney and Associates is $11,313, and whereas the funding for the design of a canopy and driveway extension at the County Clerk Building located in Smyrna is available from the County General Fund unassigned fund balance. Therefore, be it resolved by the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners that the design of the canopy and driveway extension at the County Clerk Building located in Smyrna by Klein Sweeney and Associates be authorized, and that the funding in the amount of $11,313 for the same is hereby approved. Be it therefore resolved that this funding be taken from the accounts as noted herein. Resolved this 14th day of August 2025. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Discussion? Seeing none, Commissioners, for this will be on the board. Please cast your vote.
Anyone that did not vote and wishes to vote, or anyone who would like to change your vote, you may do so now.
Record the vote.
21 yes.
Motion passes. Chairman Peay.
The last item I've got here, budget item D, is to approve purchase agreement. Whereas attached here to is Exhibit A is a real estate purchase agreement between Rutherford County, Tennessee as buyer and Mac 3 Properties LLC as seller regarding property located at 120 East Main Street, Murfreesboro, Rutherford County, Tennessee, being tax map 91NBD. Parcel 001.00-000 and consisting of approximately 1.249 acres, more or less, property. And whereas the purchase price of the property is $9,200,000 purchase price, and whereas the Property Management, Budget, and Purchasing Committees have, by majority vote, recommended approval of the real estate purchase agreement attached hereto is Exhibit A, and funding of $9,500,000 to cover the purchase price and any other necessary costs and expenses associated therein with any of the said funds not spent, reverting back to the general fund or put toward the renovation design cost of the property. And whereas Rutherford County desires to enter into the said agreement for the purchase of the property, and whereas funding for the purchase price and other related necessary costs and expenses associated therewith, as described above, is available from the County General Fund unassigned fund balance. Therefore, be it resolved by the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners that it hereby approves the purchase of the property on the terms and conditions set forth by the real estate purchase agreement, subject to due diligence that is satisfactory to the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners, as well as subsequent approval by the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners to move forward with the closing on the property. Be it therefore resolved that the real estate purchase agreement attached hereto as Exhibit A shall be and hereby is approved, and further that the county mayor be authorized to execute the same. Be it further resolved that the funding of said purchase of the property in the amount of $9,500,000 shall be hereby is approved, said funding to cover the purchase price, any inspections and studies, and other related due diligence expenses as needed, surveys and other necessary reports, closing costs, escrow deposits, taxes and recording fees, attorney's fees, title insurance, and any necessary permit fees. Be it further resolved that if any of such aforesaid funds are not spent, then the same shall revert back to the general fund or be put towards the renovation design costs for the property. Be it therefore resolved that the funding for the said purchase of the property be taken from the account as noted herein. Be it further resolved that the general fund be amended as follows: a decrease in restricted fund balance of $9,500,000, increase expenditures transferred to other funds for $9,500,000. Resolved this 14th day of August 2025. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion.
Mr. Chair, Robert, help me understand something. The 9 million is just for the building and the property?
There's $9,200,000 that is for the building and the property. There's an extra $300,000 that it was added that may or may not be spent, but that's just in case it's needed for design and all the other listed.
Okay, so what's confusing me is the second to the last page on the real property results, it gives an appraised value of $3 million. So why are we paying $9 million for a $3 million property?
I'm not really sure where you're seeing that. I could call on the mayor to come up. When we discussed this in budget, their asking price originally was in excess of $14 million. It's been negotiated down, and we've got a couple of people here that can speak to that.
Okay.
Marty, for one.
This again, second to the last page, it says land market value of $784,000.
That's from the property assessor's appraisal website. That's from the Rutherford County Property Assessor. That's their market appraised value.
Sure.
That's not from an independent appraiser.
Okay, huge difference. Okay, thanks for that clarification.
Other questions?
Question. Just a follow-up from Commissioner Cush. So why is that okay now? The difference in the price and what this is on here. Why is that okay?
I'm going to recognize John Harney. He has negotiated this sale for us, and he can answer those questions for you. Mr. Harney, you're recognized.
Thank you. To put this in perspective, there's been a sales price negotiated on this property, 120 East Main Street, which the building's about 28,600 square feet. It's on about 1.25 acres of land. Has 50 parking places on site. Roughly, this is a purchase price that would, if you break it down per square foot basis, about $325 a square foot with the land. Now, to give you some parameters, we built some Class A buildings and actually priced recently a Class A building like this. Class A means you've got elevators, you've got restrooms, you've got common areas, lobbies, all that sort of thing, this kind of building. The last price we got on a building recently without the land, new building, was about $425,000. I called two of the contractors that are well known, one I'm here in this town and one in Nashville, and they were throwing out numbers in the $450 a square foot range. Whatever the tax rolls say, that's really not an appraisal. But you've got to look at the value of the building that you're looking at, how you're going to evaluate it. The way this contract is worded is if y'all authorize the mayor to sign this, the seller has already agreed and signed this contract. We've got a 120-day inspection period to go from one end of this building to the other, inspection-wise, to make sure it's solid, it doesn't have any flaws. For example, this building's got a 20-year warranty roof on it. The roof warranty's about halfway through, about 10 years left on it. A lot of improvements have been done on this building the last couple of years. But under this contract, you'll have 120 days to do whatever kind of inspections you want to do. The $50,000 earnest money going down, if on the 119th day, this group decides that it's not the thing to do, you can give notice, walk away from it, get the earnest money back. If you decide to go forward, then a permitting period of 90 days is set up after that, which probably would contribute to architects trying to decide how much remodel needs to be done, what needs to be spent in the building. That will require additional $50,000 to be put up earnest money. The first 50 will go non-refundable at that point. We built another 3 30-day extensions into the permanent period. So theoretically, this building could be tied up for 300 days for this body to decide, is this the right investment or not? Now, there's 50,000 goes hard every time you exercise one of these extensions. So worst case scenario, 299 days from now, you decide this is not a good buy for the county, which I'm inclined to think it's a very good buy for the county, but if you decide it's not, and walk away 299 days from the day it gets signed, the county would have lost $250,000 in earnest money, but you can walk away plus whatever inspections you've done. But hard to find a property downtown. I dare to even start trying to evaluate what the dirt is value-wise under the building, because you can't find properties like this in the downtown area. But you've got thorough time to go through it from one end to the other, drive the car, so to speak, and decide if this is the right thing to do or not.
Thank you. I listened to that presentation twice, so I appreciate you repeating that. But my question is, this piece of paper was not in front of me when I was listening to the presentation. So my question is, why is it okay that the appraisal is $3 million, but we're going to pay $9.5 million or $9.2 million?
I have no involvement in how the county or anybody else comes up with a tax appraisal. I can tell you this, we don't ever use tax appraisals as a way to evaluate what a property is really, fair market value is really worth. But I don't have anything to do with how they appraised it, nor do I know the basis of which they came up with this number.
Thank you.
Commissioner Pearcy. Commissioner Hall.
Here comes the rookie. Just along that same lines, it looks like it sold in 2022 for $3.4 million. So you said there's some upgrades done, but it looks like in 3 years' time, it's more than doubled its where the present price is. And with all the Murfreesboro buying up the properties around there, is there comps related to this that would support the price we're talking today? I know you said price per square foot you're looking at, but I know it's looks like about a 1978 building.
Well, extensive renovation's been done on the building since the present owner bought it. I can't tell you the value of that. All I can analyze is the difference between if you had to build this building new today, what it would cost you. I think it needs to be thoroughly investigated to see what money has to be spent on that building to make it what I would say comparable to a very good, well-conditioned building. And that's a decision this group's got to make. Is it the right thing to do? To give you a counter, I guess, argument to that, you're all very familiar with the Goldstein's building. And I've heard comments about trying to redo the Goldstein building, and that's been anywhere from $5 to $8 million to redo it, with no parking, no real estate involved. And you're basically taking an old building and trying to make it into a new one. So it's not about, in my mind, on any day, it's not about what somebody gave for it in the past. It's what it is worth today on the market, and is it a smart thing for the county to do?
Commissioner Pearcy.
Do we have to enter into a contract and put money up to have it professionally appraised for value?
Well, you got the right, while you've got it under inspection, under permitting, you got the right to have it appraised.
But can we do that without tying up county funds?
Well, you can't get control of the property to have the opportunity to thoroughly investigate it without entering into a purchase contract.
Can we request the seller to have it appraised?
I guess you can. I can't answer that whether the seller of the building will agree to that or not agree to that.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Commissioner
Hardy.
Beverly.
Thank you. I guess, obviously, I think a lot of folks are familiar with an appraisal contingency within there. It's not built into this contract. However, we could use that during our initial inspection period.
Certainly.
Do you feel like an appraisal could be conducted in this inspection period timeline and get that valuation back before we start entering into the permit process?
Yes, I think you can. Now, I think a key piece of the appraisal is a thorough investigation of the structural, the mechanical, the roof, every aspect of the building. Because an appraiser, part of what they have to weigh is what condition is the building.
Correct.
Not just comparable sales, because, you know, every building, especially when you've got buildings of various sizes and life and everything else, they're hard to compare apples to apples without really thoroughly knowing the condition, existing condition of what you're appraising.
Exactly, and we can't get in the building until we execute a contract or sign a contract. So my thinking is, if you believe we can look at the appraised value within the first inspection period, we go ahead and, as a county commission, request the appraisal be done, protect our valuation, and if it's done within the inspection
120
period,
days.
our earnest money is still protected, and we're only going to be out the cost of the appraisal and inspections at that point.
That's correct.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Chairman?
I'm sorry, Commissioner Reed.
You know, it's interesting. I went one time to watch individuals that would come over here that was questioning the appraisal on their property or their taxes. And the individual sitting there would ask them, the very first question would be, would you sell your property for the appraisal on your property? And every one of them said, no. Well, I'm continually getting in the mail requests to buy my farm based upon the appraisal, which the county does, on my farm. No way I'd sell it for what they want to buy it for on that appraisal. So we can't base anything on that appraisal, I don't think, especially one as old as this one. But when you start thinking about the property that's there and available to us, they've just about quit making a lot of that property in downtown Murfreesboro, especially with a building sitting on it and parking spaces. How many times have you driven around this square trying to find a parking space and trying to find a place to do business? The main thing I think about is the fact, being chairman of the Planning Commission, I'm often going over to the Goldstein building for different meetings and things. How many of you have ridden in that elevator lately? Do you say a prayer when you go up? I don't go down. I only take the stairs down. Now, sometimes I ride the elevator up due to the fact of my back. But that building has its problems, and you already mentioned what the cost is going to be of that building, of moving those employees out. We've been given an option here of a number of days to look that building over. In other words, we get to test drive the building for a number of days. Sounds like a pretty good deal to me, especially with something downtown within walking distance of this building, of the judicial building, of all of our other buildings within this area right here. And I just think it's a good opportunity for us for something to look at least look at it and see if it's something that we can use, because Goldstein's is not going to wait on us. It's sort of like me. It's getting old, and it keeps its check engine light keeps coming on for us. So that's my opinion.
If I could just say one thing. The opportunity that we have, in my mind, is too good to pass up. We're talking about a piece of property that we can buy downtown with parking to satisfy the needs of our election commission and our planning commission for the foreseeable future, well into the future. If we had to go out and build a building, we couldn't find property downtown, would have to move out someplace, which would probably not suit our election commission well. But we could not build this building for the selling price that we're buying it for, including the property. We couldn't even come close to it. Even if we have to put a few dollars into it or some dollars into it to renovate it to meet the needs of the election commission. This is a piece of property that the Property Management Committee has been looking for at least the last 3 years. And it is an opportunity that we have, and thanks to our finance department, has arranged payment on the building without adding to the property tax roll. So we're able to do that due to the efforts of this commission and our finance department. We found a solution for our downtown needs that will meet those needs well into the future. So to say what's the appraised value, I don't know, but I know what it would cost for us to build this building, and we couldn't come close to it, counting the property. This is an opportunity that we have to meet the needs, especially of our election commission and our planning commission and others as we go forward. So it is an opportunity that we have, and I encourage us to enter the contract and give us the 120 days to evaluate that building and to come back with either a yes or no as we move forward with it. We've got 4 months, 120 days, to make a final decision. So I would encourage this commission to move forward with this with positive recommendation and allow the mayor to sign the contract.
Mr. Chairman. General
Commissioner
question. I remember on property management meeting, the mayor said how he looked across all the for sale for lease sign and called them, and then conversation stalled a little bit. Then you helped with another outside the box thinking to continue. How long has this specific building been in the wheelhouse? I guess when did the conversations first start to get us to this?
It was last fall when we started talking about or entering negotiations with this building. And once again, with the help of Mr. Harney, we've been able to whittle that price down to something that we think we can afford. And it is, once again, something that we've been working on. The mayor's office especially has been working on it since last fall.
One thing I'd like to interject, and I haven't seen the specific figures y'all are looking at on appraisal, but what I'm thinking you're seeing is the appraisal on commercial property, which is at 45%. So if it's $3 million something, you're basically going to at least double that. And as Chairman Phillips just mentioned, if we enter into this contract, we have 120 days that we can do our own evaluations, and then if we say, hey, this is not worth it, we can walk away at no cost other than what we've done to check the price on it to see if it's available or if it's something that we want.
Call the question.
Question has been called. If you would, Commissioners, this will be something that we'll need to cast our vote on. So if you would, please cast your vote.
Anyone that did not vote and wishes to vote, or anyone who would like to change your vote, you may do so now.
Record the vote.
21 yes.
Thank you, Commissioners. Job well done. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner James.
I just want to make a request to urge caution as we proceed forward. With the timeline with this, hearing that it was back at last fall, for the last 3 years, you mentioned needing to do something with Goldstein. From my opinion, for decades now, Goldstein's needed to have something done in this manner. So now that the 120-day clock has started, we need to make sure we further our due diligence and carry this out. From recent conversations, I've heard the intent is to keep the Goldstein building, but as you've just heard, it's going to be upwards to $8 million to renovate that building and make useful. It's our money pit. In my opinion, it would be something that we should consider selling and not do. Otherwise, we're essentially $17 million to move them into a new building to get that one upright. We need to keep those figures in mind because as certain individuals have known about this from fall and then January earlier mentioned, and so on. That could have changed the equation when we had money and the thought process behind things like the forensic center. When we had money, we could have fixed this and not kicked it down for another new something, or that we just went over the budget where we talked with the first responders of a potential $8 million needed to cover, and there was no appetite for the funding there. But now here's almost the same valuation. It's concerning to me that some of the information is not getting at a fast enough speed to make the best informed decision when we look back at a 10,000-foot view. And I urge caution that as we're in this 120-day countdown, where we can get all of our money back if so needed or necessary, that we pay attention to not just the previous spending, but this future spending that we're getting ourselves into. And again, I still think that Goldstein was something that for decades now has needed to get addressed and worked on, but we need to make sure that we're not doubling that bill with our money pit, in my opinion.
Thank you for those comments.
Chair.
Rest assured that the next 120 days, the next 4 months will be utilized well. We have consultants that are ready to go and to begin the evaluation of that process from the roof to the air conditioning units and systems, and will give us a full report, and they will be reporting to property management every month for the next 4 months as to the progress and what they're finding. As to what we do with buildings in the future, that's up to us to decide, and it has little to do with what we're doing right now in buying a building to meet the needs of our election commission. Once again, the election commission is on the square, and you have to fight for a parking spot. Think about downtown parking and what that might mean for the future of Rutherford County 25 years from now. It's invaluable. Thank you for those comments. Commissioner Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. There's a lot of reasons that all the information doesn't get to every commissioner right away. And one of the obvious ones is you've got so many people that are politicians instead of public servants, and all they want to do is find out information and run out to the public and blow it all out of proportion, and then it just messes your whole deal up and you don't have anything but a bunch of money spent for nothing. I like the process the way it is. It's been handled very well. The information has been on time with us. Some of us may not like it, but you know, that's part of it. We don't like everything, but the way it's done is the way it should have been done. And I appreciate all of the legwork that's been done. And it's just sometimes you can't share everything at this one moment. But we're in the open about everything. We're not hiding anything. It's just some things you can't put out there to the public because it's going to triple your cost of your building that you're trying to get. So, I mean, it's just, that's the way it is. But as far as that 180 days, that doesn't start until the day the mayor signs this. Also, we don't have a contract tonight because we approve it.
Thank you. I'd also like to thank John Harney for his work. I'd like to thank our county attorney for his work, and I'd also like to thank our finance department for his work. And a big thanks to our mayor's office for their efforts in negotiating a reasonable price. So a big thank you for your service to the county. Thank you. Commissioner Peay.
Thank you. Our next regular budget meeting will be September the 4th. And it took a little while to get back to that, but I want to bring everybody's attention to something that's very important to me. Our Assistant Director, Mark Tucker, is having some health issues, as many of you know. I want you to keep him and his family in their prayers. I know it's affecting Michael a great deal with all the work that they have there to do. I can tell the difference in being able to read these minutes here. I'm used to reading Mark's, and I stumbled a time or two just from Michael. Michael did a great job, but it's a little bit different from what I'm used to. But anyway, please keep Mark in your prayers. Thank you.
Thank you. Item L2, Public Safety Committee, Chairman Pettis Reed.
Mr. Chairman, no report from Public Safety, but our next meeting will be Monday, August the 25th at 5:30.
Thank you. Item L3, Health and Education Committee, Chairman Phil Dodd.
Thank you, Chairman Phillips. Our next meeting, Tuesday, August 26th, 2025, 5:30 p.m.
Thank you, Chairman. Item L4, Property Management Committee, Chairman Alan McAdoo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Our next meeting is August 28th. That's a Thursday at 5:30 p.m. And I would like to thank the commissioners for moving on this project. Really, you don't know how serious this project is. I hate to be coming up here the next 2 months and saying that we had to move approximately 35 employees out of the Goldstein building for some unforeseeable reasons. One that's been over there, I don't know how you could get up and face your employees with what they in. We've had several tours. I mean tours. It's not because we love going over there. It's because we need to do something. And at least by doing this, we are moving forward. Now, during this 120-day period, we might find a Taj Mahal somewhere. I don't know. But for right now, we got to move and get those people out of Goldstein.
Thank you. As Chairman McAdoo said, there will be a tour of that building at 3:30 on August the 28th before property management meets. Anyone that would like to participate in that tour is more than welcome. You can get to know that building intimately that way. Item L5, Public Works and Planning Committee, Chairman Anthony Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Our next meeting will be September 2nd. It's September 2nd at 5:30. And at that time, we'll have a consolidated utility district to come and have a presentation. We never really hear anything about them, and Commissioner James had asked for them to come, and then in I think it's October, we'll also have Middle Tennessee Electric. So be some good information.
Thank you. Item L6, Steering Legislative and Governmental Committee, Chairman Craig Harris.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Our meeting has been moved from Monday to Wednesday, September 3rd at 5:30, so make sure you put that on your calendar. Also, commissioners, before you leave, can you please give me your committee request, and so I can get those taken care of. Thank you.
How many do you want listed? How many do you want listed? 1, 2, 3, 4?
I have the sheet. You didn't get one. Everybody else got it.
No, I didn't. Okay. Thank you. And that meeting has been moved from Monday to Wednesday because of Labor Day. Other business?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
I requested Mr. Commissioner McAdoo remain in his seat and not converse with Commissioner Gooch here. I can't concentrate. FYI. But no, I personally want to say congratulations to Mr. Rick Hall. Looking forward to working with you. And also for myself, I'm speaking personally, can IT look into the video? I don't know whether it needs a new projector or a screen, but I could barely see Mr. Smith that was up there. So and I had a couple other individuals state that as well. So I don't know if it's what's going on, but if they can look into that or maybe play videos from now on the side screens, it may be a little bit better for our viewing audience.
So noted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Or I can wear somebody's glasses. It doesn't matter.
Anything else under other business? Any shout outs? Commissioner Davison.
I don't necessarily have a shout out, but I do have a question for Commissioner Johnson. I'd like to know if you had an update on, I believe it was Mr. Charles who was injured at the Smryna Convenience Center. Is he back to work, do we know?
No, he is not back at work. Like I said before, I don't want to get into HIPAA problems, but he still needs our prayers for sure. Yeah, he was seriously injured, so just be praying for him. Thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Anything else? Commissioner Beverly?
We've got 2 shout-outs. We just had a large group of EMS staff just graduate with their paramedic license,
Amen.
which is a huge milestone for them and keeping them in the county. So I want to celebrate them and then also recognize Sergeant Hidman with the Sheriff's Office. He was just recognized, I want to make sure I have this right, by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office for his drug recognition expert experience. That is a huge tool to have in our jail. It protects us on legal liabilities, but we're grateful to have him and want to recognize his award.
Anything else? Our next meeting is Thursday, September the 11th, and we don't say it enough, but tonight was a classic example of government in action. I appreciate your time, your participation, and your patience tonight. With that, we are adjourned.